Well, good evening from Mark Pugat at Wembley Stadium. We've just seen half a dozen young men with a banner, a yellow banner, which said, "We had to walk to Wembley." Well, they've got here with kick-off just over 10 minutes away. Let's talk about David Beckham for a bit. Mark, he's 34. He was 34 last month, so he'll be 35 next year if England get to the World Cup. Could he play age 35 in central midfield? I noticed that Fabio Capello said he played for me at Real Madrid in central midfield twice. Well, that was not much of a re-endorsement, is it?
No, I don't think he can play there, in all honesty. I think it's a case of needs must. I think we've seen what will happen with Beckham, presuming that he goes to the World Cup market. He will come on as a substitute. I can't for the life of me think that he will start any games, and if he does, it either means in the first group England might win the first two matches and decide to give him a game in the third. But no, I think he will be used as an impact substitute or lack of impact substitute, whatever you want to call it.
Who should be playing there instead this evening, Graham? Were there to be somebody else? Who should play in central midfield tonight?
I think when you look, it's the availability of people, and what you don't want to do, I don't think at this stage, is to bring someone in because Carrick's missing, because Barry's missing, that you're never going to use that person again. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I can see some sense in what he's saying. Look, I've got this squad of players. I think it's pretty well near what he sees as his main squad. We moved Gerrard about, so, you know, Beckham, I think he's impressed with Beckham's not only fitness, but what he did at Real Madrid when he buckled down and got back, and I think that impresses people like Capello, and great credit to David Beckham. So I don't think it's a question of just bringing somebody else in. I just feel that if you're going to play him in central midfield, this is the game to play him. And it gives him a game.
Mark, I have to tell you, against Andorra, the Speaker from the House of Commons could play in central midfield.
Even if he's on his way out, yeah.
Glasgow Mick could play.
Alan, get on, Mike. What about Gerrard central midfield and playing Wright Phillips out wide?
Well, that's what I was saying earlier, Mark. That
yeah.
Personally, I would rather have. I know he doesn't want to experiment until qualification is absolutely guaranteed, and that's fine. It's highly professional, the attitude, and you can't argue with the record that Capello has brought as England coach. It's exceptional. But tonight, this is a pub team that kicks. Andorra will not win the game. England will win the game. Ideally, it'll be 7 or 8. Probably it'll be 2 or 3. But I would rather have had taken an opportunity to see Ashley Young or James Milner rather than David Beckham in the centre of midfield. I know Mike was talking to me earlier about what Capello said about Gerrard's role in the England team, and that's fine. It's what I sort of half anticipated. It's actually a compliment to Gerrard that he wants Gerrard in a forward role. But tonight I would have played him alongside Lampard and seen either Milner or Young.
I think the other thing, Mark, I think the only thing England have to guard against tonight is the fact that all these players go on the holidays in the morning. So sometimes, as Graham will tell you, that if they've got that in their head and one or two decide to stroll around, it might make it a little bit more difficult. Don't get me wrong, I think England will win, but it might just make it a little bit more difficult than we think it's going to be.
Do you think, will the players be slightly concerned about the physical aspect, Mark, of this game, bearing in mind what we saw in Barcelona?
Well, yeah, definitely. Because the other thing is, you can play against good teams that can kick absolutely fine, but when bad teams kick you, it's even worse because it's very, very blatant and it's very, very difficult to stop. And if the referee's not particularly firm in this game, it might be a real problem for England. Of course, the last thing is, that's why I made the point before about the players going on the holidays tomorrow. If the flag starts flying, you might get one or two of the players thinking, hold on a minute, I don't want to get an injury. I don't want to have to stay behind in this country when I should be on my holidays. And the last thing I'm thinking about at the moment is pre-season football. I'm thinking about being on a beach somewhere, wherever you want to go.
I think officially they're the dirtiest team in World Cup qualifiers this time around. Andorra, they picked up more yellow cards than any other nation. I mean, I just don't know what the point is of Andorra. I'm all for minnows and the romantic notion behind minnows, but Andorra are deeply unattractive. It's a beautiful little country, but as a football team, they're awful.
Well, they were very physical. When I said it in Barcelona, in case you got confused, that's where Andorra played England in the first game of this World Cup qualifying campaign. We've just seen on our monitor, Graham Taylor, about 100 tubes parked up, empty, which is why over on the far side there are sways of empty red seats, which you don't see very often at all. The players are down in the tunnel. Would you, as the England manager tonight, be worried about players getting kicked? As simple as that.
I can see where Mark is coming from, but I think this manager in charge of the England team will expect a performance and a result in this particular game. And if he doesn't get it, I think he'll be upset, and that might be worse than getting a kick.
Was he pretty upset? I got the feeling from listening to you, obviously, in Almaty when I was at Epsom, that he was pretty, even though England were 2 up, he was pretty upset at half-time, wasn't he?
Well, I mean, I think, and he'd every right to be, and you know, he was off into that technical area, the front of the technical area in that first 5 or 10 minutes. You know, and you could see him really expressing himself. Whether they could understand, I think his English is still a little bit better than he lets us know. So he was expressing himself in some very strong terms there.
Is complacency the danger here? End of the season, pub team, England 6 out of 6, long season, thinking about holidays. Graham, and then to Mark, is this a danger, complacency?
Well, it always is. It adds up and says it is, but I tell you what, it shouldn't be. If you call yourself a professional, get the job done. The season's over, boys. Go on holiday. But before you go on holiday, win this game and get it done.
Well, the teams are coming out here. This is a very rare side because it's actually quite a surreal atmosphere with the ground. Well, we've got a sort of overhanging stand above our head, so we can't see how full it is above us, but certainly I would have thought no more than about half full at the moment. Mark, do you worry about complacency, or are we beyond that with footballers?
No, I'm into that complacency angle as well, most definitely, because it's always a day when you're complacent in football that you get injured, Mark, and that was the point I was trying to make before. So Graham's absolutely right, of course. Get the job done. You just might have one or two of the players who just switch off a little bit.
Well, the subs this evening: Paul Robinson, Gary Neville, Wayne Bridge, Ashley Young, Sean Wright-Phillips, Jermaine Defoe and Carlton Cole. Just to tell you a result from Kiev, where England still have to go to, of course. Ukraine 2, Kazakhstan 1, which doesn't really impact upon England tremendously, but Ukraine have beaten Kazakhstan by 2-1. Holland are in action this evening, interestingly, against Norway. We'll keep you in touch with that, of course, because the Dutch have won their group already, but of course that would have an impact if they were to beat the Norwegians on the Scots and their attempt, of course, to become runners-up. I was going to say, an important night for Robert Green, but actually I think you'll probably tell me that I could play in goal this evening and I wouldn't have to do a great deal. So actually, probably from Robert Green's point of view, it's a bit frustrating. He might like a real match to get his teeth into.
Yeah, but quite honestly, Mark, I think it is an important game, because I think any goalkeeper will tell you, when you don't have much to do, you must keep your concentration, because that's when you might just lose it. And I don't care what anybody says, you know, yes, making the saves, people say this, he's not going to have too much to do, but he must keep his concentration all of the time. So it is an important game for him.
Well, the two teams are just being introduced to the dignitaries here at Wembley, and of course that goalkeeping position, well, we've got a year to go, and an awful lot can happen in a year, of course, in terms of form, in terms of fitness, so who knows, as everybody here, those who have made it to Wembley, stand for the national anthems. Well, there we go then. We've had the national anthems, and kick-off is just a couple of moments away. Just time to tell you, I was mentioning Scotland's group there, Group 9, that Macedonia have moved level with Scotland in second spot after beating Iceland 2-0 in Skopje this evening. It means the Macedonians are now on 7 points, along with Scotland, who do enjoy a slightly better goal difference and have a game in hand of September's match in Scotland. So there we are, your commentary team this evening. We've got former England manager Graham Taylor with us, Mark Lawrence and Alan Green. And first of all, here's our chief football correspondent, Mike Ingham.
Thanks, Mark. Good evening. I think I read somewhere today that the last time there was a tube strike, the attendance at the Old Wembley was 15,000. Well, there must be 3 times as many here this evening, and really well done to everybody who has made such a big effort to be here. Probably around about 45,000 at the moment here at Wembley on a cool evening. And England have shown today that England have made 3 changes from the side which played in Kazakhstan. Gareth Barry was suspended, remember, having got his second yellow card. David Beckham starting his first competitive match since the World Cup quarter-final against Portugal. 112 caps for him now. Peter Crouch replaces Heskey, and Lescott takes over from Upson, and neither Heskey nor Upson are on the bench this evening. The England lineup is Green, his first England international at Wembley. The back four, and it's the same back four that played against Andorra in Barcelona. Johnson, Lescott, Terry and Ashley Cole. Then David Beckham, Lampard, Gerrard, Walcott, Crouch and Rooney. Andorra have also made 3 changes from the weekend. They lost to Belarus at the weekend. Their lineup is Calder, who's playing for the last time in goal for them tonight, 78 caps. Ayala, the 2 Lima brothers, Tony Lima and Ildefons Lima. Tony Lima's also bowing out of the international football scene tonight. Sonergy, the captain. Zema, the left back. Then Marino, Andorra. Yeah, they have a player called Andorra playing for Andorra. Vieira, Jimenez and the lone striker Fernando Silva. The referee is from Holland, Hendrikus Nihus. And Fabio Capello has lost only 2 matches so far as England manager, both friendlies, away to France and Spain. And there is a country sandwiched in between those 2 nations, and they're here tonight. But Andorra, not so much a mountaintop, more a molehill in international football. But Mark Lawrence, 198th in the world, they still have to be beaten.
Yeah, they have to be beaten, Mike. It's just about setting off in the right way. Start at a very, very high tempo, England, then you can always drop down a gear. To do it the other way around is more difficult.
England playing all in white this evening. Andorra predominantly in red. England will play from right to left in this first half. Peter Crouch, who got a couple of goals the last time England played Andorra in this country at Old Trafford, stands alongside, dwarfing in fact, Wayne Rooney, who's had such a magnificent season of goal scoring in international football. And away we go. And Fabio Capello saying yesterday that really, bearing in mind he expects all the Andorran players to get behind the ball, England do really need to strike an early goal here. They were frustrated in the 2 away matches against Andorra, both of them goalless in the first half, and England immediately getting possession, and it's with Frank Lampard just inside the Andorra half. Lampard plays it along the halfway line to John Terry, and now Glenn Johnson, one of the England players on a yellow card, by the way, in danger of missing the Croatia match should he get another one tonight. David Beckham's in the same situation. Lescott on to Steven Gerrard. Gerrard playing quite deep at the moment. No Andorran players had a touch yet. Ashley Cole drifts the ball in towards Crouch, and the first Andorran to have a touch of the ball is the goalkeeper, Calder, straight into his arms.
I think straight away Rooney's pushed up alongside Crouch, and we've got Walcott pushed up down the right and Gerrard on the left hand side. So there's almost a front 4 for England.
Lovely flick from Crouch to send Gerrard going. Here comes Steven Gerrard for England, attacking the Andorra penalty area. Oh, good challenge though coming in at the back for Andorra by Sonergy. Then as Ashley Cole tries to take possession, he's fouled Marino, and Andorra have a free kick. Well, just for the moment then, it's Gerrard playing on the left. He was more effective in Kazakhstan when he got on the ball and went into the centre, but just at the moment England are playing a pretty authentic 4-4-2 with Walcott on the right, Beckham and Lampard in the centre and Gerrard on the left.
Yeah, it was an excellent tackle, wasn't it?
Free kick eventually taken by Caldo. Into the England half, Lescott against Silva. Silva gets a touch, but John Terry's waiting to pick up the pieces and sends Walcott now for the first time down the right-hand side. Fabio Capello saying how important Walcott could be tonight to try and stretch the Andorran defence. Now Lampard with a beautiful ball some 30 yards to this near side, controlled by Ashley Cole, who takes a tumble. Gerrard plays the ball into Rooney. Lovely turn from Rooney. Rooney shoots and the goalkeeper's just turned it over. And it's a corner kick to England over on the far side, the right. Good football from England.
Well, as the ball was played into Rooney with a little bit of pace, Mike, he just shifted the ball and himself away to the left-hand side, saw the goalkeeper out and tried to chink him.
The first David Beckham corner of the evening. Over on the right-hand side, Lampard's lurking on the edge of the penalty area. Lescott's gone forward, Terry as well, but it's headed away at the near post by Vieira for Andorra. Only as far as Walcott of England. Walcott now to Beckham over on that right-hand side of the field. Beckham's been given a central role this evening. It's Glenn Johnson of England trying to get the ball into the penalty area. The ball breaks to Walcott. Walcott shoots under. Rooney's hit the bar. He should have scored. Rooney from no more than a yard out somehow contrives to head the ball, I think, against the crossbar when he should have scored for the 7th time in this group.
But also the keeper's made a great save from Walcott. Walcott was very, very close in. I think he fingertipped it onto the bar and it came back off the bar very, very quickly into Rooney.
There's an injury to an Andorran player in the penalty area. It's not serious. Bang on the head. Ball is out of play down this near side and Steven Gerrard preparing to take a throw-in. Well, there are goals there tonight for Crouch and Rooney, certainly. Throw into England, 0-0 against Andorra, just underway here at Wembley, inside the first 4 minutes. Throw in taken. Steven Gerrard for England, finding Lampard. Lampard now hits it across the field for Johnson. It's all England as you would expect. Johnson's high ball into the area. Rooney will score for England with a header. Ball played in from Glenn Johnson. It's as simple as that. After only 3.5 minutes, England have got the goal that Fabio Capello demanded. And for Wayne Rooney, it's his 9th of this international season.
Yeah, really quite simple, because the problem for Andorra is they're playing with 3 centre-backs and not one of them moved as soon as Rooney moved. Good ball in from Johnson. Nobody moved. He had the easiest of headers just to knock it past the goalkeeper, having just hit the bar with the previous header as well.
Well, what was I saying about there are goals there tonight for Rooney and Crouch, and Rooney could hardly miss that one. England 1, Andorra 0. And bearing in mind, Andorra hardly ever score. That should just about be game over already. Andorra have only scored 2 goals in this group, and both against Belarus. England 1, Andorra 0, and now Lescott for England, finding Ashley Cole down the near side. We'll get a word from England's former manager Graham Taylor, who's with us tonight, in a moment. Johnson, who put the cross in for Rooney, to Walcott. Walcott, was he fouled? Referee says play on. No, it looked like a foul.
I need to see a bit
Andorra
more from Walcott tonight. I need to see a bit of robustness.
That was Mark Pugac, and not Graham. Graham Taylor, can you hear me? Tell us what you think so far.
Yeah, it's just laughing there with Mark. I think what it shows is that we can, if England keep playing as they have played in this opening spell, there is the possibility of seeing a double-figure win tonight. Because Mark is quite right. They're playing 5-4-1, are Andorra, and they're not getting near the ball anyhow. So there's going to be great opportunities to get double figures.
Thank you, Graham. Damage limitation already then from Andorra. Trailing here 1-0. Rooney's got the goal. Andorra look for Silva. It's a wayward pass. Terry collects. England barely need a back four at the moment, really, as Gerrard floats a beautiful ball into Ashley Cole's path. Cole checks just inside the Andorra half. Lays it back to Gerrard. Good movement here from England. Long ball from Gerrard to the far side. Walcott waits, brings it down and finds Johnson. Johnson's just really joining all the attacks at the moment for England. England still keep the possession with Lescott. Lampard, back again to John Terry. Nice, England moving it around so much quicker than they did in Kazakhstan in those early stages. Ashley Cole again now, trying to pick out Crouch. Goalkeeper fists it away. Not too clever, that is on the edge of the penalty area, and it'll be cleared by Jimenez, but it's a very hurried clearance. Out of play for an England throw-in. Mark Lawrence.
Well, it's a poor attempt at stopping the cross from the goalkeeper. I don't think he wants to get his gloves dirty.
England throw-in taken, and Lescott here again, just a matter of days really since the FA Cup final. Long ball to the far side, looking for Walcott, headed away by the left back. Jimenez again once more, easily dispossessed by Johnson, and Johnson's won himself a free kick. Andorra do have a reputation for being quite physical. 19 yellow cards they've picked up in this group. The two Limas, by the way, have already had a suspension. They both had 3 yellow cards, and it's a free kick, and it'll be David Beckham once more, and Lescott and Terry both in the penalty area. Crouch raises both arms as well. Again, Lampard's lurking on the edge of the box. Beckham legs astride, prepares to take the free kick. It's England 1, Andorra 0 here at Wembley already. Beckham's free kick is taken, and again Coldo with a fist out of the penalty area. Lampard tries to head it back in again. Walcott goes steaming in. Header on from Crouch. Lescott has stayed forward following that free kick. Andorra completely failing to clear, and now it's Beckham once more. Beckham onto Crouch, gets away from the defender well. He goes down under the challenge, looks for the free kick, and the Dutch referee waves play on.
Well, at the moment, looking at Andorra there, where they were trying to clear the ball, Mike, they had 6 strung across the back, so it just shows you what a total farce this game is.
Well, and every time they clear, they just hit it straight back to a white shirt, and then now David Beckham tries to release Ashley Cole, but the ball just jumps away from him. Cole acknowledges Beckham's attempt, and it's a throw into Andorra near side.
Pitch is good.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Yeah. I heard David Pleat say that before as well.
It certainly wasn't good the last time they played here, but it's been relayed since the Ukraine match. But yeah, Fabio Capello had a lot of concerns about the pitch, but the surface looks okay so far here this evening. Crouch now and Lampard. Rooney's got the goal. Lampard again. Couple of Andorran defenders with him. Lampard brushed the first one aside, but not the second, and in comes Ildefonso Lima with the challenge. And, well, the whole of the game so far, really, the opening 8 minutes has been played inside the Andorran half. Steven Gerrard now back into midfield where Beckham is unmarked. Beckham immediately gives it to Walcott down the right, an invitation to take on the defenders. 2 of the defenders there. Walcott goes down, no free kick is given. Andorra under great pressure once more, eventually get it out off an England player for a throw-in over on the far side of the field. England 1, Andorra 0. Remember then, earlier today, the Ukraine beat Kazakhstan by only 2-1. Ukraine and Croatia now 11 points each from 6, but England have a chance to go 10 points clear tonight at the top of the group. It's a free kick to England this time. Walcott's been fouled, and there's an Andorran player gone down as well. I have no idea why.
I think.
There was no challenge on him at all, I don't think. But
no, I think he tried to challenge. Walcott has probably hurt himself.
The referee is just checking on him to make sure that he's not feigning injury. He's certainly not going to allow the trainer on, I don't think. And it's going to be an England free kick, and this is one of the reasons why David Beckham's been reinstated, to try and tease the Andorran defenders with his delivery from set pieces. Beckham's free kick. Again, Terry and Lescott have gone forward. Crouch is the tallest player in the penalty area. Beckham now prepares. In goes the free kick. Oh, and Crouch didn't really get on the end of that one at all. He seemed off balance. He's such a tall man. He should have just directed that at goal. Instead, he's headed it wide.
I don't think he really attacked it, Mike. I think he saw it coming all the way. He just didn't really attack it. He let the ball hit his head rather than come and attack it. A downward header, and it's 2-0.
Coldo in the Andorran goal then, preparing to clear for a side who look, completely intimidated here at Wembley. The England fans, it's about half full here this evening, making good noise though. The team are responding. Walcott for England. Fine, it's about 98% possession so far from England. Lampard inside the centre circle. Lampard now looking to release Gerrard down the left. Gerrard hugs the touchline and then cuts in from this near touchline. Gerrard shoots, and the goalkeeper seemed to see it late and turns it around for a corner kick.
Yeah, it seemed for a split second like he'd gone down very, very late, the goalkeeper. At least he made the save.
Beckham takes the corners, right and left, and Crouch waits and hopes that this time, if it comes his way, he can make a better effort with a header. Corner kick to England. Rooney inside the 6-yard area. In goes the kick again. It's a fist from Coldo. This time he gets good distance. It's almost back on the halfway line. Ashley Cole retrieves. Walcott immediately back in possession again. England 1, Andorra 0. Ball in from Walcott towards Crouch. Crouch reaches for it and feeds David Beckham 30 yards away. Beckham's ball, well, you could see what he was trying to do because Walcott was steaming in from the right-hand side. He just had too much pace on it, though, and it's a goal kick.
Yeah, just unfortunate because Jimenez, who was marking Walcott, just let him run, and a little bit more accuracy with the pass, and Walcott was in.
We've got the England World Cup squad members here who received belatedly their medals today for being part of the 66 squad. I think they're going to be on the pitch at half-time. And incidentally, it was exactly 47 years ago that England went out of the 62 World Cup in Chile against Brazil. Some of the men who were here tonight played in that game, and that was England's last World Cup game before they came to Wembley to play Uruguay at the start of the 66 tournament. So we'll have the likes of Ron Springett and Jimmy Armfield and Ron Flowers and Jimmy Greaves, who all played in Chile in 62. They'll all be coming out at half-time, and I'm sure they're going to get a fantastic welcome. England are leading 1-0. Lampard of England switches the play now and finds Ashley Cole down this near side. He won't have to do too much defending tonight. Ashley Cole, as Rooney waits patiently. Cole taking on the defenders, making his way towards the dead ball line. Still Ashley Cole, knocks it back to Gerrard on the edge of the area. Square from him to Lampard. England having just so much of the ball. Now John Terry, who's inside the Andorran half, and why not? Ashley Cole again, back in field to Gerrard. There's so much possession here, it's almost embarrassing for England as a high ball comes into Crouch, and now Silva used his arm. Even when Andorra get the ball downfield to their striker, he can't control it. England take a kick quickly, and it's Ashley Cole again on the edge of the Andorran penalty area. Lampard, ball into Gerrard. Gerrard now with too many defenders around him on that occasion. Andorra look to clear. How much ambition will there be in that? Not much, because Lescott comes in very, very quickly. The pass was an obvious one, and it's straight back again with the team in white. And Glenn Johnson over on that right-hand side. Walcott's made a run. Johnson holds, plays a shorter pass instead to Lampard on the edge of the centre circle. England 1, Andorra 0. In Scotland's group, it's Holland 1, Norway 0. Holland have already qualified. Rooney now into Lampard. Lampard to Gerrard. Lampard tried to go for the return. He's gone down. There's no free kick, though. Referee waves play on.
I'd like to see that again. I thought maybe he might have got blocked off, Frank Lampard. That's something that the Andorrans are very good at doing.
Wayne Rooney then.
Yes, he did. Sorry, Mike, he did get blocked off. Referee never saw it.
Just one little note for you. Wayne Rooney's now got 9 goals in this international season, and the record is 10 from Gary Lineker in 1991. And he's also now got 7 World Cup goals in this group, and the record is 8. Tommy Taylor in 1958. So if Rooney gets another goal here tonight, well, he'll be able to equal the Lineker record. He'll go on to beat Tommy Taylor anyway, I would have thought, with 3 more games to go after this one. In the group, England 1, Andorra 0. Gerrard now down the England near side of the field, and they're just backing off him at the moment. This is dangerous for Andorra. Gerrard to the captain Terry, and now Beckham enjoying the free role he has in the centre. Walcott up against 2 defenders. Walcott has support from Johnson. Johnson level with the edge of the Andorran area. In it goes from Gerrard to Rooney, back again almost, and now Gerrard slips as he tries to tee that one up. He slips, and so Andorra's goalkeeper Coldo can pick up the loose ball.
That is really good play until Gerrard. I think what happened, he tried to clip the crossing and just play right foot against the left, but it was good play from England.
England in Kazakhstan on an awful pitch, wanted just too many touches at times, but then zipping the ball around well here on a better surface at Wembley. Fabio Capello's in the technical area at the moment, but he can't be too displeased with what he's seeing. Andorra have barely crossed the halfway line. They have the ball now with number 11 Andorra himself. And now it's back into the back 5 with Sonergy. Over on the left-hand side, Jema, the left back. That's an awful pass, though, straight to Beckham on the halfway line.
I've got a question for you. How can you wear orange boots if you're the right back for Andorra?
Well, the thing they normally say there is you have to be a good player, don't you, to get away with boots like that. I'm not sure how good he is as Rooney floats the cross in. Alan's just asking me a question about Tommy Taylor. How many games did they play in 50? Certainly not as many as England are playing these days. Probably, let me just think, 1958, no more than maybe half a dozen. But
you were there though, weren't you?
Yeah, that's right. I do remember watching that tournament on telly, I have to tell you.
That's why I thought he'd know it.
Yeah. And Tommy Taylor, of course, tragically killed in the Munich air disaster in 1958. England now on the ball over on the far side of the field. They lead here by 1-0. Here they come again. Lampard to Ashley Cole. Ashley Cole down the line to Rooney. Rooney checks and then flicks the ball on to Lampard. Lampard's cushioned header, but the goalkeeper's there again. I do remember that Brazil-England game that I mentioned 47 years ago today, listening to commentary on the game in the car on a journey with the folks back in 62.
So Tom Finney in that team, wasn't he?
In 62? No.
Oh no, this is the 1-0, the USA defeat.
Johnny Haynes and Jerry Hitchens got the goal, and Jimmy Greaves. England have the possession again. Just for once, they're back inside their own half. David Beckham. Nobody anywhere near him from Andorra. They're retreating once more. Gerrard to Lampard. Lampard spots Johnson over on the far side. Should have found him, didn't. Only finds an Andorran. Now they approach the halfway line, but immediately Johnson closes them down. Still have the ball with Jimenez. Jimenez now over to the left-hand side, where Silva is immediately swept aside by John Terry. Just isn't a contact mark, is it?
Well, they're hopeless, aren't they, Andorra? But we knew that before we started. They've just got arguably 45 yards away from England's goal. How long we played?
Let me tell you, 16 minutes.
I bet there's been some interesting spread bets tonight.
They haven't kept a clean sheet for over 2 years. 18 games now, they've conceded in all of them, and it's a throw to England. England did have problems with Andorra in Capello's first game. qualifying game, to the extent that he had to make a couple of changes at half-time. Joe Cole was brought on to score the goals in the end that mattered. Here, Rooney's got an early one after 3.5 minutes, and the ball is again near side down the England left. Ashley Cole hits this in with a bit of pace, doesn't reach Crouch on this occasion, and Marino now, near side the Andorran right. Gives it back to the man in those boots, the right back, Ayala. They've got some famous names, all right, but Ayala and Vieira and Silva, but they're not the ones that we have come to know over the years, the famous ones.
Silva is hi-ho, isn't he?
Throw into Andorra. 1-0 down, could easily have been 2 or 3 already. It's Fabio Capello still down there, making sure that they keep the concentration up. John Terry of England. Terry now, lovely ball onto Walcott. Waits for it to come onto him. Little bit of pace, acceleration. Then he got it behind Johnson. Johnson checks, back again to Walcott. Well, Johnson would have got the return, but he was brought down by the defender over on the far side. And the Dutch referee says calm down, and England have a free kick.
It's Chairman, there's just absolutely no attempt whatsoever to play the ball and just block Johnson off. Should be a yellow card, basically. It's the only way they'll stop the Andorrans from fouling all night.
Another Beckham free kick from a long way out over on the right. This time he's knocked it short to Johnson, who is unmarked. Johnson hasn't got it forward, though. Andorra with a very high clearance. Crowd making as much noise as they can here. Maybe 45, 50,000, something like that. Quite a lot of vacant seats in the top tier over on the far side as England sweep a high ball towards Gerrard. He controls it on his neck. Then he can't get in off that defender, Ayala, and England have a throw-in. But it's just non-stop pressure here on the Andorran defenders from England, leading 1-0 and already on their way to a 10-point lead at the top of this group before the summer recess. Now Lampard again to Ashley Cole, who's been given a lot of room down the left-hand side. In comes a cross, it should be headed away by the defender, but it'll drop to, well, it should have, I thought it was going to drop to Johnson. It's Beckham instead, and in the end it's Ildefonso Lima with a header, but every time they clear it comes straight back to the team playing at home. Terry in acres of space. Now Gerrard's gone into the centre, half thought about the shot, I think, then does get the shot in, and I think he's got a corner out of it. It's got a deflection, and the corner's been given down the right, far side. Yeah,
it's actually a good block by the defender, because Gerrard just dropped the shoulder, didn't he? And he just deflected just over the top of the crossbar. I just think with England, they're just going through a little stage, Matt, where they need to work the ball a little bit quicker.
Beckham prepares himself over on the right. England sends the second. In comes the corner. It doesn't reach Rooney. Again, Lima heads it away. Walcott now has it back again and tries a big effort from almost 30 yards, really, but the goalkeeper wasn't testing.
I don't think the goalkeeper even moved. I think he knew straight away it was going wide.
Have you played in many games like this, where you have the ball for virtually 99% of the time?
All the games we played for Liverpool.
Yeah, I thought you'd say that. Yeah. We just keep setting him up for him, really, don't we? And he keeps
you realise as soon as it left your mouth what was happening, didn't you?
Striking them through mid-wicket. Yeah. Goal kick for Coldo, and Crouch heads it straight back again. Rooney doesn't chase this one, it's a lost cause. And Tony Luma's gesture there, trying in vain, I think, to bring them forward. They're just all in the retreat here, as Coldo now clears into the England half. It's about the only way I think that Andorra are going to get the ball into the England half, through goal kicks from Coldo. Ball bobbles around over on the far side. Johnson does enough to make sure he's got the throw-in, and England have a throw short of the halfway line. We've played just over 20 minutes of the first half. If you're just joining us here from Wembley, England got an early goal through Rooney. Header, straight forward from Glenn Johnson's cross. And now the throw-in taken. Crouch is playing tonight in place of Heskey. Lescott is in for Upson, and David Beckham starts because of Barry's suspension. Rooney now, a little bit deep for him this time. Rooney's floater to the far side. Crouch is there, reaches for it, and Crouch, it just wouldn't come down from him in the end against the defender, and Andorra have a throw-in. Fabio Capello doesn't look very happy, actually, Mark. He's just shaking his head a bit there as he sits down.
When England started, they started brightly, and what they did, Mike, they switched the ball right to left to right very, very quickly, and with a packed defence it makes all the difference. It's just a little bit obvious at the moment, and England have started to sling one or two crosses in, and quite honestly, the two Lima brothers, they're decent in the air, and if you keep playing like this, England, they're going to have a headache, because they're dealing with everything that's coming in.
Well, it is monotonous. I suppose sometimes you can have too much of the ball. Fabio Capello has very high standards. He's a perfectionist, and Now he's using Stuart Pearce, the under-21 coach, to come out and also get an instruction across.
He was talking to Rooney, and what he's saying to Rooney is just stay and play up front. For once in your life, in this game, certainly, you don't have to go rampaging everywhere and help everybody else. Stay up front and cause the problems.
Well, that was what Capello was saying yesterday in terms of advice he's given to Wayne Rooney for scoring goals. Just get into the penalty area, Wayne. Well, he did that early on here and scored. England lead 1-0. They're just going off the ball a little bit, but now they'll be right back on the boil because commentary's with Alan Green.
I'm just enjoying being totally relaxed about the outcome of the game. England will win this game, whatever the scoreline. Here's Ashley Cole forward. I don't want any clever dick saying, well, they won't win it if it's 1-1 or if Andorra win 2. And you know what I mean. Doesn't matter how many goals England score tonight, they're going to win the game. And I look at Kazakhstan at the weekend, Mark, and if games only lasted 45 minutes, Kazakhstan would be a decent team. But Andorra have nothing. Gerrard, poor cross in from the left-hand side, straight into the arms of Coldo. And England have actually been guilty of squandering much of the possession they've had. Beckham's given the ball away a number of times, and certainly not crossed properly, either from corners or from free kicks. Oh, that was a cheer for it. Did Silva get to the ball? Silva touching the ball.
No, Green. Green's first touch.
Green's first touch. 23 minutes played. England on the attack again. Didn't last for long, that incredible pressure on Robert Green. Here's a cross played in by Johnson. Walcott is there, and Walcott actually was sort of half blocked by Rooney in terms of trying to get the ball across goal, and it's behind for a goal kick.
You notice as well the crosses have started to get longer and deeper.
Yes.
And it really will just play into Andorra's hands. That's exactly what they want. A little bit more invention, a little bit more width needed.
Goal kick to Coldo, who was booked in Belarus. Here's the goal kick taken, hit right-footed, up to the halfway line, headed back by Beckham and away by Sonergy out of play on the far side of the field for a throw-in swing. Actually, the crowd, I'm told, is actually better than we think it is, because there are many more in the upper tier on this side of the ground that we can't see. So the attendance, we think, is nearer 50,000 than 45,000, which is a remarkable effort given the tube strike. Ashley Cole to Lescott, and now taken up by Lampard. Inevitably, the play is in the Andorran half. Good ball to the far side, well controlled by Glenn Johnson, moving to the edge of the penalty. Slips the ball in, Rooney's there, Rooney turns, slices his shot, and it's behind for a goal kick.
Better play though, Alan, wasn't it? Quicker ball out to the right. Johnson came inside on his left foot, played Rooney in. Much better from England, a little bit more creative.
When I look out at Andorra, I just see a team that hasn't got any ability. You can excuse that, but they kick, don't they? They kick.
No, they do. And I mean, the other thing as well, looking at it rather simplistically, if you're Fernando Silva, what on earth do you get from this match?
Nothing.
The lone striker.
Does he ever get a pass? Awful. Here's Lescott, on to Beckham, on the halfway line in the centre circle, now to the left of it, forward to Gerrard, hugging the left touchline. Gerrard on his right foot, plays a good ball back to Terry, the captain, and onto the far side, and Johnson. Walcott's in field, pass to Walcott, back to Johnson, and now Terry again. Overwhelming possession for England. The scoreline still only 1-0, and we've played nearly 26 minutes. Lescott drives the ball forward to Gerrard, back to Lampard, Gerrard again, on intended. The pass was towards Rooney, but it's knocked away by Ayala. And another cheer for Robert Green, who comes out of his penalty area. If he doesn't come out of his penalty area, he might never see the ball. Beckham clips it to the left side. Good control by Ashley Cole. Can't feed it into Rooney, and it's hit out of play by Tony Lima. Oh, I thought it had gone out of play, but Beckham kept it in play. Beckham then plays it forward. Not a good pass from Beckham, and it squirts through to the goalkeeper, Coldo. Where's Mike gone? Oh, he's been to get a cup of coffee. Did he only bring one?
Not a team player, obviously.
No, he's not a team player. A team player would have brought coffees for everybody. Anyway, he's too busy doing his notes for the second half. Here's John Terry to Beckham. Silva's down.
Silva's down
injured.
again, yeah.
Down again. He gets the sympathy vote, and the referee will come and see. Oh, has he got a crack in the head?
He says he has.
Well, he may have done, Yeah, a Lampard challenge. Well, he does appear to have had a crack in the head, so I take it all back. He is an injured party, Silva. Well, Graham Taylor, what are your thoughts, Graham?
Reminds me of a testimonial game, this does, where the opposition aren't going to get a touch of the ball. You come to watch one side and you let them play, and then it's a question of will they deliver. From a point of view, I agree with Mark. They've no need to knock the ball into Peter Crouch, to tell you the truth. They can play it sharp, they can play it quick, they can play round them, they can play through them, and they just lose that little bit when they start to play it in from those wide angles in the air to them. They've no need to do that.
Now, Silva's definitely got a crack in the head because his head was wrapped in a towel as he headed to the dressing room. Presumably, he needs stitches. He might even be replaced. So they're down to 10 men at the moment, Andorra, which doesn't really change things because they're defending anyway.
Well, that's going to change the formation, isn't it?
Yeah, it's now 5-4.
No, it's 1-9-0.
Oh, we mustn't laugh. Yeah, there is blood on Silva's head, and he rather threw a bottle down in some disgust. England 1, Andorra 0. You're listening to 5 Live at the BBC. We played 28 minutes, so the first half here at Wembley. The odd kick-off presumably was to accommodate Coronation Street. Great idea. Here's Ashley Cole. Back to Lampard. And Lampard on to Beckham. Johnson's available down the right flank. And a simple pass by Beckham finds the full-back. He almost miscontrolled it, but keeps it in play. In it goes to Walcott. Walcott in the penalty. Pulls it back. Lampard must score. And side puts the ball low into the net. Squeezed it through. Goalkeeper and defender. England 2, Andorra 0. Lampard's 17th goal for his country.
How simple was that, wasn't it? Great interplay. Width on the right-hand side. Great play by Johnson. Ball through. Play to Walcott. Speed of movement, speed of thought. Pulled back for Lampard. Crouch stepped over it. Simple as anything. 2-0.
Well done. And a more accurate reflection of the way the first 29 minutes have gone. England overwhelmingly in control here. And actually they're warming up 2 substitutions, Andorra. They may as well put both of them on. Won't make a blind bit of difference.
Yeah, but to be fair, they're missing Silva.
Yeah, well, we're all missing Silva, especially his tantrum. Anyway, they kick off. They're still down to 10 men. The team all in red, Andorra. And it's back to Ildefons Lima, who hits it upfield towards Jimenez on the far side of the field. And the referee from Holland has decided that was a foul challenge by Glenn Johnson. So here's an opportunity, actually, for Andorra. They've got a free kick, 35 yards from goal.
There was nothing wrong with that challenge. Johnson just headed the ball, and the fella threw himself onto the floor. Look at him, he's up. There's nothing wrong with him. Right,
we're getting a shot of Silva on his backside in the tunnel. Now wiping his face for blood. A lot of blood, seemingly, for Silva.
Yeah,
and look, here's a genuine team player. Tracy's been out, and she's got coffee for everybody.
Yeah, but I ordered tea.
So, free kick, and look, they've committed 3 players up to the edge of the England penalty area. The 3 central defenders, and it's a terrible free kick, which is headed away comfortably by Gerrard to the halfway line. Ayala plays it forward again, up to the penalty area, and above the head of Ildefons Lima, behind for a goal kick.
Ildefons Lima was the only Andorran player in the England penalty area at the time. Here comes Silva.
Here comes Silva, we've missed him greatly. And he's back on the pitch, and they're up to a full complement of 11 players. Beckham for England, who lead 2-0 against Andorra. Goals from Rooney and Lampard. Early goal from Rooney in the 4th minute. Lampard got the second in the 29th. Johnson into Walcott, and Walcott, poor pass from Walcott, played left-footed, well ahead of Gerrard, and it rushes behind for a goal kick.
I'll tell you what you can see from England, though, down their right in the future, certainly Johnson and Walcott on their day. Lots and lots of pace, there's no doubt about that. Very comfortable on the ball, Johnson, isn't he? I love the way, as well as a fullback, he comes inside and therefore has an option in terms of his passes. He really has improved since he left Chelsea.
Yeah, but you're still happy with him defensively, Mark?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think it's a great problem. And there aren't, if you look around world football, there aren't too many left-sided players that are going to cause you too many problems.
OK, here's Walcott holding off 2 challenges, rushing forward towards the penalty area. Defender gets in a tackle, and it's behind for an England corner. 13 minutes to go to half-time. David Beckham, in no great hurry, goes across to take the corner, acknowledges the applause from the England fans on the far side of the field, who unquestionably love the former captain. His 112th cap tonight for his country, and he will close in on Peter Shilton's record. Takes the corner short to Johnson. Johnson now into Walcott, and Walcott, I think he was attempting a shot but he got it all wrong and he just chipped it behind for a goal kick.
And I think he hit it right foot onto left and it just spooned over, didn't it? What do you think the Andorra manager says to his players at half-time?
A great start, lads. It's only 2-0. Keep it going. Remember, our record deficit is 8-1 or 7-0. Do anything better than that would be great.
Keep it down.
Keep it down.
Keep it down.
Well, what else is there? There's nothing else.
Well, no,
I'm not getting at you. There's just nothing for them to do.
No.
I just don't see the point of a team like this competing in a regular qualifying group. There should be pre-qualifying in European Championship and World Cups. On the halfway line, it's with Andorra, for Andorra. And he's done well inside the centre circle. Plays it on to Moreno. Moreno shoots from long range. And just for a second there, Robert Green thought, I'd better not let this one in. And he got across his goal line and was happy to see it go over the crossbar.
He just had to scamper a little bit.
Just a little bit. Well, you can't have that against your record on your CB. Let in goal scored by Andorra from 25 yards. Lampard, good ball to the far side. To Johnson, the England fullback. He's really playing right midfield. Hardly any need for any England defence tonight. Beckham in the centre of midfield. Gets the ball to Lampard. Back it goes to Beckham, who's inside the centre circle. On to the man who succeeded him as captain, John Terry. To Rooney. Terry. Rooney again. England patient in the build-up, and that's better than hitting it long. Here's Ashley Cole on the left side. Back to Wayne Rooney. And Rooney clips the ball towards the far side. No Andorran player within 30 yards of Glenn Johnson. Johnson controls it, moves forward, edge of their penalty area. Looking to lay it off for a shot. Too many red shirts between him and goal. Takes it the other way, goes wide. Well done, Glenn Johnson. Can't get the ball back properly. Might get another chance, and he's won a corner.
He's been England's best player, you know. The most creative, certainly. And Walcott's been quite clever, actually. When Johnson's had the ball, he stepped inside and given him some room to take on his marker.
Gerrard takes the corner, not Beckham. Played in, Terry was there, heads it down, he was being lent on, and the ball is finally clear. At least it goes to Walcott, on to Gerrard. Another cross from the right, in towards the near post, headed up in the air, crouches there and sort of moved his body in the general direction. It came off a defender and is behind for a corner, and this one Beckham will take.
I think that might actually have been Silva defending in his own penalty area. Shock.
Probably off the gash in his head. Beckham with a corner. How many minutes to half-time? A little over 10. Right-footed from the left, in towards the far post, and that should have been a header. In at goal by Lescott. Poor header.
It was. I think he just took his eye off it at the last moment. Certainly any contact, it's 3-0. Decent delivery, as you would expect.
Yeah.
Should have done better.
Yeah. Graham Taylor, how are you doing down there? Where are you
Not
tonight?
so bad, Alan.
25
Not
yards
so
away?
bad. Yeah,
Are they giving you coffee?
How about that? Right, what about the second goal? I thought it was an example of what Mark was saying. It was sharp, it was quick. Walcott pulled it back on the floor, and I think that England have to keep doing that. Move the ball quickly, keep it on the floor, move yourselves, and you'll just open them at will.
Here's England leading 2-0. 10 minutes to go to half-time here at Wembley Stadium. And it's been, reasonably entertaining. I think if it was, sort of 0-0, we'd all be saying, well, when are England going to score? But it just feels comfortable. It's going to be 7 wins out of 7. By the way, Holland are beating Norway 1-0. They too will have 21 points from their first 7 games. On the far side, Johnson pulls the ball in left-footed. Cleared by Sonijay, and then Terry misunderstands what Johnson's intention was and plays the ball ahead of the full-back out for a throw into Andorra.
Holland have already qualified, haven't they?
Yes, they have. By winning against Iceland at the weekend. I think Spain have also got maximum points in a European group as well. But, that's quite an accomplishment, isn't it? And England have played,
very much so.
Ukraine and Croatia. Good side. Ukraine won earlier, by the way. They beat Kazakhstan 2-1, and Macedonia beat Iceland 2-0. That's in Scotland's group, as is the Dutch game. Throw into Andorra on the halfway line. The game's sort of quieting down now, as is the crowd. It's just a recognition that Andorra are painfully limited. Chema, the left fullback, just over the halfway line. Hesitates to throw, finally throws towards Silva. It's headed away by Johnson. Chema heads it forward again, straight out of play. Well, what a waste of time that was. He could have just thrown the ball initially to England and kept the game moving. Johnson's throw into Beckham. And on now to Gerrard, left of the centre circle. Lampard close by, but it's played to the left side and Ashley Cole. Cole back to Lampard. Gerrard in a forward position. Lampard plays it to the right to Johnson. Walcott's further down that touchline. Gets to the ball now. He's tackled by Chema, and it breaks out for an England throw-in midway inside the Andorran half. England 2, Andorra 0. You're listening to 5 Live on the BBC. And later tonight, by the way, when the game finishes, in around about an hour and 10 minutes time, I'll be presenting 606. The lines will be opening in 10 minutes. The number you wish to call is 0500 909 693. Johnson with a throw into Walcott. What remark are you going to make?
No, what would you call up and say, though?
Weren't Andorra great? Weren't England brilliant? And Beckham should be in the starting lineup every game. They're just trying to provoke me. Gerrard, back to Lescott. To Gerrard again. Inside left channel for England. And moving infield. Gerrard wants some movement further forward. There wasn't a great deal, so he plays it to Johnson. Good control by Johnson. Level the edge of the penalty area. Back to Beckham. Early cross in by Beckham. Crouch jump. Mistimed the jump. And it's cleared by Andorra. And they want to start a fight here. I mean, Crouch went to meet the ball, collided with a defender, I think Tony Lima.
No, Lima's the one, the 6. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Who's complaining.
Yeah, Ildefonso Lima went in for a Barney. Waste of time. Lampard for England. Referee saw nothing wrong, and there was nothing wrong. Low cross in. Rooney scored the third goal. Brilliantly on the half volley. And Rooney now has equal Gary Lineker's record. Really is equal Gary Lineker's record in terms of the number of international goals scored in the season. What are you saying, Mark?
Yet another cross from Glenn Johnson, and a great cross that it was, certainly. Just picked him out, one touch, control, low, flicked it in, definitely not offside. Great finish. Good finish from Wayne Rooney. He can fill his boots here tonight.
Yep. How many goals does he want? Actually, he's been quite quiet between the two goals, you know.
Must be so bad, that, mustn't it?
No, well done, Wayne Rooney. Well, it's at 24 for England now. You remember all that time we went with Gary thinking, we know, is he going to get to Bobby Charlton's record? And he never quite made it. Well, Wayne Rooney's definitely going to become England's leading goal scorer of all time, barring a serious injury, and please don't let that happen. Wayne Rooney, 3 shots on target, 2 goals. Not bad. England 3, Andorra 0. 6 minutes to go to half time.
No, 5 shots, 3 on target, 2 goals.
I thought I said 3 shots on target. Anyway, whatever I said. And England could actually, you know, Graham mentioned it earlier when he said could easily be double figures here tonight. The record defeats were 8-1 by the Czech Republic and 7-0 by Croatia, both in 2005.
Norris has said to me he's equal Tommy Taylor's record as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, but as he mentioned how many games Tommy Taylor played in group matches, I think, you know, Wayne Rooney's had a few more opportunities. England free kick, taken quickly.
No, it's not. He's taking it back. He's getting, one of their players is being booked. The 11. Andorra has been booked. For blocking Gerrard off.
Right, okay. Well, it'll be the first of a few, you think. Free kick to England. It's Beckham territory. It's around about 25 yards from goal to the left as England are playing. And so Mr. Coldo, watch out. Beckham has placed the ball. Lampard's nearby, but surely it will be David Beckham's right foot that delivers. It's a sort of sideways run up by the former England captain. A Mexican wave around Wembley. England 3, Andorra 0. Beckham free kick to come. There it goes, right footed in towards the near post, and the goalkeeper got down well and gathered it very easily. And Mike, who's been sitting up all night, I know he has, to get ready for this game, he's now level with Jeff Hurst, Wayne Rooney, 24 goals.
It's not Mike, it's Norris, as in McWhirter.
Here's Peter Crouch, who despite his towering build is actually not that great in the air, and he loses out there. And Andorra headed upfield, and is that Robert Green's third touch of the ball? Boy, he's getting spoilt here.
Whose record does that equal, though? Does Mike know that?
Ashley Cole down the left side was the target for Lampard's pass, but it was intercepted by Ayala, and it's out of play for a throw-in to England. Left side, Ashley Cole takes it. Back to Gerrard, and now into Beckham. Beckham on the edge of the centre circle, on to Glenn Johnson, who, you're right, certainly he's no defending to do, but in attacking sense has played really well tonight. His crossfield ball to Lescott, on to Ashley Cole again, into Gerrard, to Rooney, to Gerrard. Gerrard, not quite enough room for the shot, evaded a foul challenge by Sonajay, and then he gave the ball away, and it should be cleared by Andorra. Well, at least it's run away from their penalty areas by Jimenez, and then it's left for Beckham to take up England possession again.
Alan, Silvio, the lone striker, is 25 yards in his own half.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
At least he's made a challenge, a winning challenge on Gerrard. Then Gerrard wins the ball back, and here's Andorra holding off Rooney, and that's with Ayala, who's brave enough to wear those orange boots, and he just belts it up over the halfway line, straight through to Robert Green. Fourth touch for the West Ham goalkeeper. And the Mexican wave continues, unfortunately, to indicate that the crowd are just getting a little bit bored. England 3, Andorra 0. And that's frankly as good a position in the first half as I would have anticipated. Quite pleased with the way England are playing. Lampard, excellent ball to Ashley Cole, left edge of the penalty area. Cole's cross too deep, surely, but it comes back off a defender. The defender was Jimenez, and it's behind for a corner to England.
I just thought a little bit earlier speed of thought and movement from Walcott. He might have gotten on the end of that. He was waiting for it rather than attacking it.
Beckham to take the corner from the right-hand side. Lescott made the run to the near post. Beckham decided to replace the ball inside the quadrant. Beckham no. Deliberately plays it outside of the penalty area to Walcott. On to Lampard, the pass from Walcott. Not really firm enough. Half intercepted. Oh, there's some pushing going on between Ildefonso Lima and Crouch. Look, they're always wanting to start a fight. The game hasn't stopped. England still on the attack. Lescott in towards Crouch. Intercepted by Lima. And now they're shouting at Lescott, the defenders, because there was an Andorran player down.
Moreno.
I'm not sure that he's injured at all.
The other thing is, anyway, it's up to the referee to stop the game.
Oh, good. Calder's been put for the second match in succession for protesting the captain. The attendance, by the way, is much better than we thought. 57,897.
Do you believe that?
I don't know. Would I ever say that the people who count the crowd at Wembley got it wrong deliberately?
I tell you, well, ask Norris to count them in the second half, but I don't think there's 57,000 in here.
All right, calm down, Andorra, calm down. 1 minute left in the first half. England 3, Andorra 0. Beckham with a corner from the left side, right-footed, deep towards the far post. It hit Crouch in the face, or something hit him in the face. There was an appeal, I think, by John Terry. It was a hand that hit Crouch in the face, and Andorra run the ball into the England half and had to play for a throw-in.
I think it's a ball, Alan.
The ball hit him in the face.
I think it did.
Just watching if there was a hand as well.
Ball first, then the hand just came across.
Lima tried to make sure he hit him,
and he stood on him as well, just for good measure.
Well, just why not? Here's Beckham to Lampard. I think you and Graham were wondering before the game, the danger of injury with the approach, this obviously abrasive approach of Andorra, and it's still there.
Yeah, it's because they don't know how to kick you properly.
Beckham, glorious crossfield ball. Excellent control by Johnson. Johnson in on his left foot, tries to shoot for glory, and belts it high in the crowd after he was tackled as well.
Wasn't great. As I said before, what he does do, Johnson, he comes inside all the time, and he does open out the angles for himself. Obviously, this occasion not particularly well struck. It's a great ball. They're just showing it on the TV here again. I missed
the fourth official, by the way. I think it's a minute. It can only be a minute of added time, surely. And we're into added time at the end of the first half. It's really satisfactory. England 3, Andorra 0. 2 goals from Rooney, 1 from Lampard. Rooney with the first and the third. Good header by Terry, but then the ball is now with Moreno on the halfway line, and they're inside the England half, and now they play it back to Ayala, the fullback. He almost gave it away, collected by Andorra though, and now Moreno again to Ayala. Where are they going? Nowhere. Ashley Cole collects possession for England and finds John Terry, and on it goes to Glenn Johnson on the far side of the field, right of the centre circle, on to Walcott. There's the half-time whistle from the referee. And job's already done, and I think they're playing quite well.
Yeah, no, they are playing well, England. Just a little spell after the first goal in between the first and the second, where they started to go a little bit sort of long ball, but generally after that, the composition and the way they've made the goals and taken them has been very, very good indeed. But you do have to say, and we're harking on about it, Andorra are hopeless.
The lines are open now for 606 0500 909 693. I'll be on the air between the conclusion of this programme and 11 o'clock, so do keep me company tonight. Last opportunity of the season for you to get your calls in. England have got their goals in the first half. England 3, Andorra 0.
Graham Taylor, what do you say about that?
It's very much the same, isn't it? They're doing the job. They're doing what their managers asked of them. he was quoted as saying an early goal will make the game easy. That's exactly what they've done.
Lovely goal, the third one. What a sweet finish that was from a man really in form, really, wasn't it?
You have to say this as well, irrespective of the opposition. If you look, he does a great little turn off his defender and his finish is immaculate. Doesn't matter about the opposition, that's a very, very good goal. I
think if I were coming here today as a spectator, I would be as excited about what's going to happen at half-time as I was about the match, and that is those from 1966 who didn't play in the final have got their medals today from Downing Street, and they'll be on the pitch at half-time. I hope they turn the sprinklers off for Jimmy Armfield and the rest. I don't want his best suit ruined. Well, Jimmy Armfield and Peter Bonetti and those who didn't play in the final in 1966 are being applauded onto the pitch here at Wembley. We'll hear from them in a moment after Kevin Howes can tell us about India beating Ireland in the World 2020 at Trent Bridge tonight.
That's right, both teams already through. Of course, the target was just 113. India's victory by 8 wickets, 15 balls remaining. Rohit Sharma not out half-century. The night proving what many would expect, a tough one for Ireland, without key men Niall O'Brien and Trent Johnson, who are both expected to be fit to face New Zealand tomorrow in the Super 8s. It was a struggle, but not one which will dangerously destroy confidence, I don't think. India's Zahir Khan blowing away their batting with 4 wickets. Gary Wilson and John Mooney keeping the dignity after crashing to 28 for 4 in 7 overs. The former county player Andrew White was Khan's final wicket, compiling 29, including 3 fours and 1 6, reduced to 18 overs beside due to some rain earlier on. They totalled 112 for 8. India, even without Sehwag, appear very capable of defending their title. They face England, the West Indies and South Africa in the next stage. Also looking good are Sri Lanka, who beat earlier today the West Indies by 15 runs. One other piece of news regarding New Zealand this evening. It sounds as if their opener Jesse Ryder is feeling very unwell. He's remained in London instead of travelling to Nottingham under observation in hospital. Their team manager says that Jesse's injury is unclear, suffering from a significant infection, and he certainly won't be able to play tomorrow against the Irish.
Thank you very much indeed. It's fair to say, Graham Taylor, the biggest cheer for those who didn't play in the final is for the man. This is the one man I wish I'd seen playing, Jimmy Greaves.
Well, you know, people talk about how many goals you've scored for England, and but in relation to the games you play and the goals that you scored, along with Nat Lofthouse, he's the top man. And look, anything in the box, Jimmy's going to put it in the net for you. He was a fantastic finisher, excellent player.
And of course, Jimmy Greaves, who played in the group games, didn't he? Then got an injury. Yeah. He got a gash in his shin. Then was fit for the final. But Sir Alf Ramsey decided not to change his forward line of Roger Hunt and Jeff Hurst. And Alf Ramsey was proved completely right, of course. But it must have been, and it was, very, very difficult for arguably the most natural goal scorer England has ever had.
And I don't care who you are. You know, it's got to hurt at that time. And of course it should, you know what I mean? You can't suddenly turn around and say, well, I don't really mind. But it's so good to see them all. I mean, names, I'd been a professional footballer 4 years at this stage in 66. So all of these names are at their prime, they're at the height, they're everything that you were looking for and in many respects wanting to be yourself.
Let me just run through the names. So these are those who didn't play in the final and they have at last, 43 years later, got their medal. Of course, very soon after that, all those in the squad did get a medal. Jimmy Greaves, John Kennelly, Ron Springett, Peter Bonetti, Jimmy Armfield, Jerry Byrne, Ron Flowers, Norman Hunter, Ian Callaghan, George Eastham and Terry Payne. Some of those, particularly players like Kennelly and Payne, played in earlier games, didn't they, when Alf Ramsey started with wingers, and in the end it evolved for one reason and another into Martin Peters and Alan Ball. But some did play early on, and some, like our own Jimmy, didn't play at all in that tournament.
No, they didn't. I mean, Jimmy was coming up, leading up to it. I don't know whether he lost his place through injury or what, but George Cohen took over and held his place.
Yes, Jimmy was injured just before the World Cup. He broke his metatarsal before it had even been invented.
They wouldn't know what that was in those days.
I can see him down there with David Oates, so I'm just about to get the signal. I've got the signal. Here he is, Jimmy Armfield with David.
Well, Jimmy, 43 years. It's been a long wait. Has it been worth the wait?
Well, I must be honest, at the time, we never thought about getting medals, to be honest. We thought, well, we were just satisfied the team had won. We all wanted to play, of course. But the simple truth is that, now it's come, it's really good, I think. I've enjoyed the day. I think all of us have enjoyed seeing each other again over the last 3 or 4 days. I think that's been really terrific. And now I've got the medal. Yes, I think it's a really super day.
It's funny because it would be unthinkable now, really, for anybody in the squad not to get a medal.
Yeah, but life was a bit harsher like that, in those days. That, if you didn't actually play and played in the earlier rounds, it made no difference, You still get it. And we accepted that was the way it was, and it was as simple as that.
And Jimmy Greaves is here as well. Jimmy, obviously, you were fit for the final but missed out on a place. Does this go some way to making up for that?
Not really, it's just a lovely day out. We've had a good time, seen London by coach, had a wonderful police escort, which took us all around London, got here. It's a great stadium, it's great to see the lads again. I wouldn't say that we haven't seen each other for a long time, because we do see each other. But they're all together. Georgie Cohen's here representing Sir Alf. As well, and it's been a really, really pleasant day. Shame about the game, but that's how it goes.
Well, you can only beat what's put in front of you, can't you?
Yeah, exactly.
As you say, George, representing Sir Alf, obviously a bit of a shame that Sir Alf isn't here to accept this himself.
Well, he'll be nearly 100 years old, won't he? But it's a privilege, and I'm very proud to represent Lady Ramsey. And she unfortunately she cannot here because she's advanced in age, but she asked me to represent Alf, and I'm happy, very proud to have done so.
There seems to be a terrific camaraderie between all the squad members. You do seem to, you meet up, don't you? You do seem to get on very well.
Yes, we have reunions every year. It's a wonderful affair. Even the wives get on, So, but this is the good thing. We've stayed friends for many, many years, mainly because when we've met each other, we go home north, east, south, and west. But it's always been a very, very good, close-knit unit, and that's how we often have liked it.
Thanks, George. And Jimmy Armfield, just last word from you, I
couldn't leave Five Live without showing you my medal. The listeners can't see it. Perhaps you can describe what it says. Well, it's a goal that far across, about 1.5 inches, with the Jules Rimet trophy on one side, and I'll let you read what it says on the other.
Oh, dear. Now you're asking. England, 1966 World Championship, the Jules Rimet Cup.
England.
Pride of place in the Armfield Trophy cabinet?
Of course. Thank you very much.
It's back in Jimmy's pocket. I can see it already before David Oates gets too close to it. Jimmy Greaves hasn't lost his sense of humour, has he?
Well, he hasn't. But what he is, he's been honest with everybody, and he shows his hurt. Yeah. Because you must be, when you think about it, how he must have felt at that particular time. And yes, as the years go on, it probably gets less and less. But what I liked about Jimmy there, honestly, he wasn't going to... It doesn't really make up for it, because his view would be probably one of the most disappointing times of his life was not to get in that far. But life goes on, and he's done fantastically well as Jimmy.
I always think the irony about Jimmy Greaves in the World Cup final is that in 1970, so the next World Cup, there were substitutes, because there were no substitutes in 1966. And I said this to Jimmy Armfield the other day. Just think about this. Had the final been in 1970, he'd have come off the bench, wouldn't he? Can you imagine 2-2? You'd have got Jimmy Greaves straight off the bench, wouldn't you? I mean, unlucky the timing of it all.
It's all about timing in everything, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Mark Lawrenson, wonderful to see these players rewarded so.
Yeah, but I have to say, Mark, I thought they should have got the medals here before this crowd, before the game. It's nothing to do with the Prime Minister and Downing Street. This is all about England footballers who, unfortunately, they were in the 22, they didn't quite, obviously, make it onto the pitch. They should have been here tonight getting the medals before the game, in front of this Wembley crowd, in front of proper football supporters for me, and that would really have put the gloss on the situation for them.
I agree, but I suppose the fact that it's half empty in a way with that we've saved ourselves. I think it'd have been 90,000 absolutely heaving. I'm with you all the way, and I'm sure
but we
a lot of people
know
listening.
That, were we, when it was all arranged? We weren't to know that it was going to be a tube strike. So anyway, there you go. It's the life we live in, I'm afraid.
And which of those players would you pick out that you remember particularly as you were growing up, Mark?
I can remember every single one. I mean, look at George Easton there. I mean, the players in the dressing room now just below us, I mean, how thankful would they be to George Easton because of the fantastic money that they're earning? But, I mean, it was inevitable as well that Greavesy would get, the best and the biggest ovation. I thought he was just an absolutely sensational footballer. But Jimmy, of course, one of our friends here on Five Live, one of the very first, if not the first, attacking fullbacks. He was an outstanding player, and Jimmy's given so much back to the game. But all those players, Norman Hunter, I mean, a nicer bloke you couldn't wished to meet, but he would have sold his granny for £1 on the pitch, and that's the way those
nice
players
to meet
were.
unless you had the ball, Mark.
Absolutely, man. You don't mention Poland to him.
Yeah. 1973, of course. Jimmy says he was the first overlapping fullback. I asked him, I said, were you? He said, yes, I was the first overlapping fullback.
I can believe that he was. I mean, I actually saw Jimmy play for Blackpool. He must have been right at the end of his career. And I don't know if it was 70 or 71 when they lost at home to Arsenal. Actually went on to do the double that day. And even then, he was still very much of that attacking right-back mould.
It's interesting now, television are interviewing Jimmy Greaves. Inevitably, he is the focus of attention. 57 caps, 44 goals, Graham. That just brings to mind what you were saying in terms of the ratio, this wonderful word ratio.
That's how I think, if you turn around... Yes, of course, you say you've scored the most goals, but in terms of games and goals scored, then you look. I mean, I think Lofthouse is something like about 28 in 31, do you know what I mean? But Jimmy is right up there at the very, very top.
And of course he won his England place back the year after. It wasn't like that was the end of his international career. He was back in the England team the year after.
I think they all say the most important thing in the game is putting the ball in the net, and he could do that easily.
Let me just tell you that the Lions thrashed the Sharks 39-3 in their latest tour match this evening in Durban. 5 tries for the Lions. And Andy Murray will face Spain's Guillermo Garcia Lopez in the third round of the Aegon Championships at Queen's after thumping Andrea Seppi in straight sets. Well, England have found the back of the net 3 times in the first half. Andorra have barely been inside the England penalty area. Here's Mike Ingham.
Thank you, Mark. And Wayne Rooney, having scored 2 in the first half and equal that Gary Lineker record of 10 in one season, isn't going to get the opportunity to add to that in the second half. He's been replaced by Jermaine Defoe. And another England change, Ashley Young has come on for Steven Gerrard. So the revised England lineup now is Green, Johnson, Terry, Lescott and Ashley Cole, Walcott, Beckham, Lampard, Ashley Young, Defoe and Crouch. No changes made at all by Andorra at half-time. Their team is Caldo, Tony Lima, Ayala, Sonergy, Ildefons Lima and Shema, Marino, Andorra, Vieira, Jimenez and Silva. And you can understand really why Fabio Capello is making these changes now, because this game is won and he's really trying to find a squad of 23 as well for the World Cup. It's not just about the 11. So it's a great chance for Defoe, who got a couple of goals against Andorra in that 5-0 win at Old Trafford. And also a really good opportunity for Ashley Young, who's had such a good season for Aston Villa, to run at the full-back over on the far side. The second half, and I really don't understand this, the second half is seconds old and Andorra are going to make a change. And goodness knows why they didn't make it at half-time. But they're going to make a change in a moment. And, well, it just sort of defies logic, really, as Beckham finds Theo Walcott near side the England right. England playing from left to right in the second half. Johnson, who had such a good first half in an attacking form. The ball runs all the way through to Ashley Young over on the far side. Cross shot comes in from him and it's over. Now we're going to have a change, Mark, already by Andorra.
As you say, I'm not quite sure why this happens. And certainly from England's point of view there, actually, it was a half chance for Ashley Young. Came a long way and waited a long time to bring the ball down. Just took it inside onto his right foot and failed to hit the target, basically.
Well, this is an interesting change too, because it looks like it's the end of Tony Lima's international career.
That's what it is then, Mike. So he gets an ovation.
So he gets the... I'm sure everyone here is aware of this. And he's exactly twice the age of the man who's coming on. Valles is coming on. The young 19-year-old is coming on to play. So that's the end of Tony Lima, who doesn't even have a club actually now. He's unattached, just plays international football. And he's certainly milking the moment coming off to be replaced now by Valles.
Yeah, I think that's... Look, he just shook the hand of the manager as well. I think that's exactly what that was all about.
By the way, just finally on the 66 thing, it really has been an anomaly that the squad players and even players that played in the World Cup, when you think that 45 medals are cut nowadays, just think about someone like Ian Callaghan, for example, in that final group game against France, and more on that in a moment as England build with Walcott and Defoe. Defoe on to David Beckham, 3-0 to England, remember. Beckham keeps it in, plays it back to Johnson. Johnson across the field now. Lescott's there inside the Andorra half. Andorra haven't crossed the halfway line yet in the second half. Down the line from Ashley Cole to another Ashley. Ashley Young. Young on the ball for England. Whips in the cross towards Crouch. Headed away. And I'm not sure I'm going to get a moment to tell you my Ian Callaghan story, but we'll just watch the game continue once more with Lampard. Lampard to Young eventually from Ashley Cole. England 3, Andorra 0 on 5 Live. England struggling a bit in that final group game against France until Ian Callaghan put over a cross to the far post, which Roger Hunt managed to squeeze in. And, you know, if England hadn't won that game, they wouldn't have played at Wembley in the quarter-final, and they'd have had to have played Germany in the quarter-final. I think the game was at Hillsborough. So, you know, Ian Callaghan changing history, really. And only today does he get his reward for that. England going forward, Defoe in the penalty area, round the challenge, angle awkward, and he's hit it wide.
I'm not sure either, actually. First things first, when the ball came to him, Mike, the defender slid in. If Defoe had gone down, he got a penalty. I think that's the first thing we should say. Secondly, I think he changed his mind. I think he thought about trying to score, saw the angle was narrow, and ended up, I think, almost sort of trying to cross as well. And basically, it was neither, was it? Neither one nor t'other.
Mike Lawrenson with us here on 5 Live. The crowd giving us 57,000 on the night when there's a tube strike here. And England leading and threatening to score more here. I'm not sure what par for the course would be, really. I suppose 3 in the first half and 3 in the second, perhaps. 6-0 would suffice, I think. But England are going to go 10 points clear of the group. Rooney with 2 first-half goals, as Alan was mentioning, is now level with Geoff Hurst at 24. And he's gone above tonight 2 great players, Stan Mortensen and Tommy Lawton. Free kick to Andorra, short of the halfway line. How on earth Fabio Capello can really gauge Robert Green tonight in the England goal? He's had to do absolutely nothing. And now Terry finds Ashley Cole over on the far side. Back in field to Lampard, who scored one of the England goals before the break. 3-0 they lead, Rooney 2 and Lampard. Lampard now, back again to Beckham. Beckham, who hasn't scored for England since the World Cup in Germany. Long ball to this near side. Glenn Johnson again. No problems going forward, Glenn Johnson. It's just occasionally when he's examined by a really quality side, when his defensive duties are examined. Now Ashley Young over on the left. Ashley Cole again. 3-0 England. Back again to Young. Young teasing the defender. Moves inside. Skims the cross in straight at the goalkeeper.
It's funny what you say there about Glenn Johnson. Didn't we used to say exactly the same thing about Ashley Cole?
Yes, but Fabio Capello likes his defenders to defend. I think he's said that about Micah Richards, who hasn't come through under Fabio Capello. And what do you think about his defensive qualities?
No, I think it needs to be improved, but I don't think it's that bad. And also, I think sometimes in international football, your fullbacks have more of the ball than anybody else, and it's very, very important from England's point of view that they're on the ball all the time.
Well, Andorra camped inside their own penalty area. They're all back. Even the striker is back now. Silva as well. Johnson onto Walcott. Walcott, the Andorran defenders doubling up to try and contain Walcott. Beckham now clips the ball long range to the far side. The man that Mark was talking about. Ashley Cole is there. Cole onto Young again. Young slides the ball into Cole. Cole can't control it. And it's a goal kick, but England are threatening more goals.
Yeah, clever play, Ashley. And just a little bit too much loft on the pass, a flatter pass, and Cole was in. It was a good one too, actually. Both got great pace, these two lads.
They got the fixtures right, didn't they, Mark? Because they had to play Kazakhstan at some point, and coming back from Kazakhstan, of all the games you'd want, this would be it, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, and I don't know who was in charge of the fixtures, but they got it spot on.
Goal kick to Andorra, hanging on here, 3-0. Clips by Caldo to the halfway line. It's also his last international game this evening, and it's left once more by Ildefons Lima, back again to Caldo. So England won 5-0 at Old Trafford against Andorra, 3-0 eventually in that awful game they played in Barcelona under Steve McLaren, then 2-0 at the start of this international season, and at the moment it's 3-0, but it surely will be more than that come the final whistle.
Was that was a night of you write what you want
That's
to write,
right.
Gentlemen, wasn't it?
It was an awful night, and Steve McLaren got dog's abuse as well from some of the fans out there. Stephen Gerrard in the end bailed England out with a couple of goals, and the third goal was scored by Nugent as well, who hasn't been seen since in the England squad. Lampard of England onto Beckham again, total possession of the ball down that left hand side. It's a great opportunity for Ashley Young here. He goes past a very half-hearted challenge, then in the end the defender gets back and denies Ashley Young. He should have got his cross in, really. It's another goal kick.
Stumbled. You just worry a little bit with Ashley Young of trying too hard, which is perfectly normal in this situation.
So are we happy with the pitch now here? Is everything hunky-dory?
Pitch is great.
Yeah.
I mean, why wasn't this sorted out in the first place? You know, £960 million for the stadium and 3 and 6 for the pitch.
right from day one when they played an under-21 game here, the first match against Italy, it was clear that there were problems, but it's OK this evening. The ball is travelling true. Andorra again looking for goalkeeper Coldo to come diving out. England could make one more change. Was he out of his penalty area?
No. There's a little nudge by Walcott on that, on the 6. He now wants to fight him. Ildefonso Lima, just makes you laugh, doesn't it?
They've hard. Just hearing that Holland now lead Norway by 2-0 in Scotland's group, but remember Holland have already qualified. It's all about second place there. Earlier Macedonia had a victory against Iceland as well. Macedonia 2, Iceland 0. So Macedonia now level with Scotland, 7 points each, but Scotland do have a game in hand. Now we've got a free kick to Andorra, but
the ref's just had a word with Ildefonso Lima.
Yeah,
Mike, saying stop your moaning.
Well, I have to say that they were at it in all the previous 3 matches as well, really. And again, as Ildefonso Lima ran forward then, he still had to have a word and a nudge with David Beckham as well. Free kick to Andorra. It's hit long towards Terry and Ildefonso Lima, and Lima just clatters into John Terry, and the free kick is instantly given. Free kick to England on the edge of the penalty area. There's not great motivation, though, now, is there really, in this?
There's zero.
No. 3-0 England, Lampard on the ball, but there are more international goals here for individuals as well. Beckham would love one, I'm sure. Walcott, who just has that hat-trick against Croatia. Walcott dancing down the line. 4 Andorra players around him, now 5. Walcott's taking them all on. In the end, the ball goes behind the line, and it's a goal kick once more to Andorra.
Yeah, I think it was Synergy, wasn't it, who stopped him. Lots of energy, but no synergy.
And Capello stands and surveys the scene. We'll say farewell to the squad until August the 12th, when they play a friendly match away to Holland, and that's even before the Premier League season starts.
How nuts is that? 3 days before the
Crazy.
Premier League. So the Premier League managers get the players back for 5 weeks, then lose them for that week. Absolutely crazy.
Which was another reason why Gus Hiddink really could not be in charge of Chelsea next season, because I think Russia are probably playing on night as well. And there are qualifying games, by the way, being played on that night in England's group. Here they come again. Lampard. This is 5 Live. England 3, Andorra 0. Beckham. That's a great ball from Beckham. Ashley Young has it, and Cole immediately runs forward. Ashley Cole for England. Turns it back. Header from Defoe is wide. Might have had that on target.
Yeah, great play from England, starting with Beckham's long sort of diagonal ball. But when the cross came into Defoe from Ashley Cole, he seemed to get his angles wrong, didn't he?
Yet another clearance for Caldo. Robert Green just stands on the edge of his penalty area. I did put it to Fabio Capello yesterday, what are the chances of Paul Robinson coming on and playing at centre forward for you this evening, bearing in mind that Stuart Pearce did the same thing with the under-21s. It's not going to happen. Now Crouch again onto Ashley Young, trying to provide down the left-hand side. Young's falling. Crouch, goalkeeper spills it, defender clears.
Just a good play by Ashley Young. Just needed a touch, didn't it? That's all it needed from Crouch. Stuck out a long right leg, but just couldn't quite get the touch in.
Johnson, that's a poor one in this time from Johnson. Doesn't clear the first defender, and then cleared and cleared straight back to England. I'm not sure Andorra have really had to... Oh, crowd cheering because Robert Green's got his first touch just about, I think, of the second half, hasn't he? Outside the penalty area.
Number 4. Touch number 4.
Ball now to Ashley Young. They're certainly feeding Ashley Young whenever they can down that left-hand side. Interesting ball into Crouch. Crouch just nudged away by defender Valles. Back again to Young once more. Young to the ever unmarked Ashley Cole. Back into central midfield and Beckham. Beckham looking for Defoe. Full stretch was our friend Ildefonso Lima. And Andorra are struggling really to get this ball out of their own half. They are building through midfield. They chip it innocuously forward. Lescott is there. And now Glenn Johnson again. It's just relentless. Andorra try and clear. They don't hold on to it. Back come England once more. One more change Fabio Capello can make if he wants to. I'm sure he will. Lampard, Beckham lets it run through his legs, and it's Johnson again, just inside the Andorra half. England 3, Andorra 0. Beckham in this role that he really covets in central midfield. Lampard's chip forward. Defender Jamer managed to head it out of the penalty area. The centre forward is there, Silva, and that's just wretched. I mean, he just looked up to see where the nearest white shirt was and gave it straight back to England. And back come England on the ball once more with Lescott. It's Jermaine Defoe, left-hand side. What on earth must the boys of 66 be making of this one-way traffic game? England building on the edge of the Andorra area. The drums beat around Wembley. Beckham thinks about the shot, scoops it into the penalty area. Crouch acrobatically fires it in off the defender for a corner kick.
Yeah, great ball from Beckham, great vision, just dinked it over the last defender. Initial first touch by Crouch on his chest, and then somebody must have just got a touch on it. Yeah.
All you're doing here, though, now really is giving players international experience. There's no way that Fabio Capello can genuinely assess anybody here, as the corner kick is knocked back almost to the halfway line to Ashley Cole by David Beckham. Beckham now, ball into the area. Oh, and Lescott almost got on the end of it. And it's gone wide, and it's another goal kick.
Second chance for Lescott. He should have scored in the first half with a header, and again, right foot volleyed. It just looks like he wasn't watching the ball all the way through. He wasn't. Mike, it wasn't a corner either, Mike.
58 minutes gone. And it's a sort of end-of-season ball, really. I think Graham Taylor said earlier, it's like a sort of testimonial for somebody at the end of the season.
I've seen better testimonials than this.
We'll have another word from Graham in a moment as Coldo clears. It won't stay in the England half for very long, as Lescott is there again, and back they come. Should be more than 3-0, really, if you're going to be hypercritical. Beckham, and he's just picking out the passes once more onto Ashley Young's head. It wasn't a good header, though, by the Villa player, but he's immediately going to try and win it back over on that left-hand side, putting pressure on Moreno. Now the pressure on the fullback, and Andorra give it away. Beckham was almost in. Andorra just smash it out a player on the far side. And Graham Taylor, anything new to tell us?
Not at all. It's a continuation of England's domination as they had in the first half, and it's really just a question, how many goals are England going to score? I think they've missed 2 or 3 opportunities already in this half, but that's all it is. It's just watching one side completely dominate another side.
Thank you very much, Graham. Again, Ashley Young with the ball in, and again it wasn't particularly well delivered. The new player Valles is there, and it's out of play over on the far side. Throw into England, 3-0 they lead. Almost an hour gone here at Wembley, and the ball is with Ashley Cole. To Young. Young goes around the defender. High one into the penalty area. Header from Theo Walcott. That's glanced off the defender. Nobody seems to know where it is. It's spinning away for a corner. England corner near side. And that means Beckham will come across from the centre to take it. Now here's an opportunity, surely, from a set piece to make it 4. And the crowd stand and cheer David Beckham. Beckham sees Lescott and Terry moving forward and prepares to take the corner kick. He glides the ball in towards Crouch. 2 defenders get in ahead of Crouch. Beckham now with a chance to float another ball in. Can't clear Ildefonso Lima, though, but it'll drop now to Young again on the left side of the penalty area. Young with the fullback. Ayala. Cross coming in. It can't once more defeat the Andorran central defenders. Glenn Johnson caught in possession on the edge of the penalty area. Ildefonso Lima has been pushed over. He won't like that. And that's a free kick to Andorra.
Nobody's up. 2 poor crosses by Beckham, in all honesty, for a man of his quality.
Thing is, though, when it is just so easy like this, you do become lethargic, don't you?
Yeah. You've seen me play, have you?
Free kick to Andorra. And we've played now 61.5 minutes of the game.
They're going to make another change.
And they're going to make another change. Why can't they wait till Greeny takes over? Clearance to the far side of the field. Ball drops inside the England half. They've only got 1 man downfield, Andorra, and it doesn't stick with him. And Johnson clears, and now Walcott's got room down the right-hand side, the near side of the field. Crouch, the speed now from Theo Walcott, who, remember, is going off to join the under-21s in Sweden. Walcott hits the defender's backside. Ran a long way with the ball there to win a throw-in by the corner flag.
Bridge is coming on, we're told. Wayne Bridge.
So Bridge to come on for Ashley Cole, I assume.
I think it's Robert Green.
And a throw-in taken for England. And John Terry finds Frank Lampard. Lampard goes around a nothing challenge, shoots, goalkeeper parries it, comes out to Walcott, and Walcott hits Crouch with his shot. I'm not sure whether it was going in, but Crouch made sure it wasn't going in. Walcott perhaps should have done better as well, and it's another goal kick.
I think that was going in, Mike.
Right. Where's Wayne Bridge? I can't see him.
I really do.
So Ray Clements is down there trying to sort things out.
Crouchy did well to stop it. He could play for Andorra at the back.
And Bridge will come on to win his 33rd cap. Here he comes, number 14. Referee's just shown a yellow card to Ildefonso Lima. Oh, and that means he's suspended from the next game.
Is it? Yeah. What a result he's had.
4 yellow cards in the group. So he's out of the next game.
So if it's at home, he misses the trip to Barcelona. It's not good planning, is it?
And Ashley Cole's international season and football season is over. And now this is nice, because remember the abuse that Ashley Cole got here against Kazakhstan. But now there's a good cheer for him. He had such a great end to the season with Chelsea, and he really has finished in top form. And Wayne Bridge is coming on just to get a bit more of international experience here.
You got the shake of the hand from Mr. Capello as well, Ashley Cole.
Ball back again towards the edge of the Andorran penalty area. Ayala's tidying up. It's gone into midfield. Bustling forward with no great conviction is Vieira. Still Vieira. They're all running away from him. Vieira now to the far side. And it's Vieira again, but not really very much on for him. Mourinho immediately squeezed and pushed back by Lampard, then carted forward towards Silva. Out comes Robert Green. Oh, and has to make a tidy save with his kneecap. And I'm just trying to, I'm not just trying to sell it for Robert Green here.
I think you find it's called interception.
Yeah, interception. And Beckham now again with another inch-perfect pass for Ashley Young down the left-hand side. Young flies past the fullback. Now what's the cross like? As Defoe's trying to stay onside. Ball comes in. Defoe hasn't got it. In goes Lampard. Hit it off the line. But
offside.
Well, that was Fred Carno. In the end, that was bouncing around. How on earth it didn't go in, I'm not sure. And in the end, an offside and a free kick for Calder.
Clever play by Ashley Young past the fullback and had a couple more touches and hit a real low, hard cross. I think it was Defoe who just couldn't quite get any angle in terms of knocking the ball back in towards a goal.
Well, it's not going to be a record score for England at Wembley. There was, in the build-up to this, inevitably, we've been reminded of some of the big scores they've had in days of yore, but 3-0 at the moment, and we're moving towards the halfway point of the second half. Rooney got 2 before the break. Lampard got the other in between the 2 Rooney goals. Rooney departed at half-time. Defoe's come on to partner Crouch, and the ball is out of play over on the far side, and Andorra have a throw-in. And nobody wants to take it. In the end, it's left for Ayala.
Ayala of the orange boots.
Yeah. Not the Ayala who was terrific for Argentina a few seasons ago. The defender alongside Pellegrino. Ball is with England. They've got a free kick. They've taken it already, and that's good refereeing, because the referee knew that it wasn't taken from the spot, but he just wants the game to continue. And David Beckham's now rolling through the centre circle. Beckham on to Walcott. Walcott's just looking to see where Johnson is. He's just behind him. Feeds Glenn Johnson. Defoe and Crouch in the area. Hasn't reached the area yet. Now it might. Johnson's got the ball at his feet. Plays it into Walcott. Walcott, and that was good defending this time from Andorra. They concede a corner.
Yeah, a good play by Walcott, because he originally started off the move and just took a better position up in the penalty area, where he could have just turned maybe a little bit quicker and got his shot away.
It's going to be 21 points from 7 perfect games under Fabio Capello in terms of results. England just would need one more victory to qualify. In goes a corner kick, and that's John Terry arriving late to head it wide. I mean, they could have had 4 or 5 in the second half, Mark.
Yeah, just got a knock on the head, John Terry, but he won't need any treatment.
So the next qualifying game, and what a different atmosphere there will be as well when Croatia come here. Remembering how tense it was in that final game under Steve McLaren. But, I mean...
Would there be a scenario where if England won, they were through then? Well, that possible.
There are also qualifying games being played before then, which could make it even easier for England come that match against Croatia.
Yes is the answer.
Yes, it's possible, I think.
Thanks.
But I haven't been up all night checking out that one.
Sorry, Norris.
Nearly 67 minutes gone in the second half. England 3, Andorra 0, and that was the half-time score. Johnson of England. Walcott down the right available. Johnson, though, looking for Defoe! Defoe slipped as the ball was running through to him. And again, Caldo, the busiest man in the Andorran team, picks up the loose ball.
I'm not sure he slipped, mate. I just think he just failed to control it. Well, I got a touch from the defender, in fairness to Defoe. It's a good run.
I'm not sure if I commentate for another 22 and a half minutes I'm going to get a goal. It's one of those nights. So here's Alan Green.
It's been wonderful with you this season, Michael. Thanks for the coffee, no. England on the attack down the left side. It's Bridge who plays the ball in. A diving header clear by Ildefons Lima. I think we can drop the Christian name now. There's only one Lima on the pitch. Here's Beckham. Beckham, 40 yards out. On to Johnson, and now Walcott. Beckham again, and he hits it unerringly crossfield towards Bridge. Bridge on the volley, plays it back to Lescott. I mean, look, there isn't a player within 20 yards of David Beckham. He gets the ball again. It's so easy. Beckham chips it towards Crouch, headed clear by Lima, and now it should be hit to safety by Andorra. That's the person Andorra, not the team Andorra. But honestly, look at them. They are pitiful. Yeah. There's just no defence of this. They haven't attempted to attack. They haven't forced a save. They haven't forced a corner. Nothing. What are they doing playing at this level? They should be pre-qualifying. Lescott onto Bridge on the far side of the field. Left flank. Good ball in towards the near post, and a good clearance by Lima. Out of play it goes for a throw-in. The number to call on 606 is 0500 909 693. And the Netherlands have beaten Norway 2-0. You know, that I'm being correct, you know, the Netherlands, as opposed to Holland, the team that reached 2 World Cup finals. Here's Johnson. Johnson moving forward. A crude challenge by Sonergy. England still have the ball. Walcott crosses to Foe, will score. A remarkable save by Caldo. Though he was offside, was he? Offside. Caldo wasn't to know that.
No. Good save by Caldo.
Well, there have been so many chances. I mean, 3-0's just a ridiculously unflattering scoreline for England. He was indeed offside. We're just seeing a replay now. It was a terrific save, wasn't it?
It was, for a man playing his last game. Man, he should be good. All the practice he's had playing for Andorra in the goal.
Well, I think he's been their star player for the last 6 seasons, David Pleat was saying to me before kick-off. That's because he's been doing more than anybody else on the pitch. You can't give it to the striker. England 3, Andorra 0. This is 5 live at the BBC, and we've got 20 minutes of our season to complete, and it couldn't be easier. Here's Defoe. Good pass to the left side, and Ashley Young, who's yet to deliver properly from that flank. Approaching the penalty area, and has he overhit the ball? He has. Crouch couldn't get there, and it still kept in play there by Walcott. Close to the corner flag. Back to Glenn Johnson. A person fallen over injured. Who is it? It's Lima.
Yeah.
Inside the penalty area, he's looking for sympathy. Look, he's lost a tooth. Look at my tooth. Look at my mouth, he says to the referee. And oh dear, they're blaming Crouch. They're blaming Crouch. Well, let's see, we're getting a replay now. Laughable. I mean, Crouch did push him away, but did you see the response of Lima? Dear, oh dear, visit a dentist. Why doesn't he grow up? What is his age, by the way? He must be about 30 or more than that. Grow up.
Yeah, the thing as well with England, though, they just make sure they don't rise to the bait, that's the thing.
Yeah, and
which is why, Alan, you don't want to give any sympathy whatsoever to Andorra for their antics.
I wouldn't sympathise with them at all.
No, not at all.
Every time I've seen them, they've left the same impression. They're useless, and they try to kick the opposition.
He was smiling then, off camera.
Yeah, I'm afraid he's just not a very nice man. I'm not talking about him as a player. He's just not a very nice man, clearly from the way he behaves on a football pitch. Walcott runs it away from Sonergy, and then Walcott hits it into the defender, rebounds out of play, and it's a throw-in to England. Beckham takes it to Walcott, who's unmarked. Back to Beckham, who hasn't got anybody near him the whole of the game. Into Lampard, centre of the Andorran half. Lampard must see Bridge. No, he doesn't. Plays it instead to Defoe. Now it's wide to Bridge, down the left flank, and the cross deep, looking for Crouch. Good catch for the goalkeeper, Calder. How many minutes more have we got to suffer with this? 18 and a half. 606 will be a blessed relief, folks, trust me. 0500 909 693. What do you want to say?
Not sure about that.
Beckham.
I'll have Radio 2 on the way home.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh, lovely. Walcott to Johnson. Johnson onto his left foot, and he thought that Walcott was going to keep running forward, but it comes off the awful Sonergy and behind for a corner. Under no pressure whatsoever.
No touch, did he?
No. It's unfair that they only can play 11 players, Andorra. Maybe 15, and then
I wonder, if you gave them the option of playing in a pre-qualifying league with all the other
I think they'd probably take it. Corner take it. Here's Johnson. Johnson's cross. Defoe with a header. 4-0 England.
3 crosses from Johnson. 3 of the goals, Alan.
Very good. And that was a much better header from Jermaine Defoe. 18 minutes to go. England 4, Andorra 0.
I just think he's been the star of the show, Glenn Johnson. Just got real quality on the ball. Short corner came in, went across it left foot, back on his right, and just stood it up for Defoe. It was the easiest of chances.
What's going on here? Beckham and Terry talking to the referee. I wouldn't be surprised, if they're saying to the referee, look, can you not do something about the attitude of some of these Andorra players?
I think they've declared.
Stephen Gerrard is now besooted, and he applauded that goal from Jermaine Defoe. Graham Taylor, how you doing? What are you thinking?
I'm doing all right, Alan. Just woke up a little bit and told me they've scored a goal again. It's a very good finish by Defoe, there's no doubt about it. Andorra went to sleep when the corner was taken, cross put in, back of the net, and it's just repeating ourselves.
Beckham towards Walcott. Walcott trying to pull ball back for Defoe, intercepted by a defender, and it's another corner to England. And there's, realistically, there's another 2 or 3 goals that they wanted here.
Good ball by Beckham yet again as well. Awareness from Walcott as well. Just couldn't quite get the crossover.
The thing about David Beckham, playing in a central midfield role, I mean, could he honestly play him there?
No.
Against serious opposition?
No. But he knows that, and Capella does.
Beckham's corner right-footed. It's another poor corner. Headed away. I mean, we really should have better delivery from Beckham, but I'm sure it's a concentration factor in terms of some of the poor passes he's given. Now, England still on the attack. Walcott tried to squeeze the ball through. He's being fouled, and here's a free kick in Beckham territory again, 30 yards of goal.
Well, the good thing from Beckham as well, if he takes it, it is in the middle of the goal, so interesting to see what Caldo does once he lines the wall up, man. There'll probably be 14 in the wall, and see which side he stands behind.
Well, he's Robert Green's having his boots repaired.
I think he's having them tied together to give Andorra a chance.
He must be bored. Right, free kick for England, 30 yards from goal, quarter of an hour to go, points already won, 4-0 they need. Will it be 5? Beckham plays it in, no, goalkeeper spoons it, and it's knocked in. It's another goal for Jermaine Defoe. Twice in just a couple of minutes. England 5, Andorra 0.
All centre forwards will tell you get 6 to 8 goals a year from that position, in off the goalkeeper. Jimmy Greaves will be pleased with that, seeing Defoe score it.
It wasn't the first time in the game that Calder's just spilt the ball rather carelessly. Beckham's free kick was hit very centrally. It should have been easy for the goalkeeper. He pushed it out and said, there you go, have another goal.
Well, there wasn't even great pace on it. All right, it bounced just before him, but
not good.
No.
Not good.
No. He'll have the operation next week to have his hands sewn back on.
There is no limit to the Loro jokes tonight. Inside the final quarter of an hour, you're listening to 5 Live at the BBC. And England, if they want to, can hit a record scoreline in terms of a defeat for Andorra. 7-0 and 8-1, their previous heaviest defeats. They're trailing 5-0 here. 14 minutes to go at Wembley. And it's been a decent crowd. I don't know whether it's absolutely accurate, but nearly 58,000, despite the tube strike. Walcott crosses on the volley from the right-hand side. Caldo gets there.
Great ball again from Beckham. Under no pressure. He's a bit like a quarterback, isn't the way he's playing in this match for England?
I saw Paul Scholes do something similar for Manchester United earlier this season against Fulham, when Fulham just lay down at Old Trafford. And no one made a tackle on Scholes, and Scholes was just sitting in the centre of midfield, spraying passes everywhere.
Pinging the ball everywhere.
It was because it was easy. There wasn't a tackle on him.
I think in American football they call it the shotgun position, don't they?
Don't know. Don't watch American football. And know even less about it than you might even think. Here's Johnson. Into Walcott, right edge of the penalty area, close to the goal line, keeps possession, turns, can't beat the defender, Suniji, and it's run away. And do you think they're even getting tired, Andorra? Terry to Crouch. Amazing that Crouch hasn't scored. And now it's on the far side of the field with Ashley Young. Young, back to Beckham. Beckham, more than 30 yards out, moves forward, beats one defender, lays the pass to Walcott. Walcott had Crouch on the far post, delayed the cross, now he plays it in. Ashley Young brings it down. Young trying to run through, ball breaks off a defender to Crouch, and back now to Bridge, into Beckham, shoot they say. Beckham declines, instead tries to play an inch perfect pass into Defoe. Bad tackle on Walcott kept his footing, how did Crouch not turn it in?
Walcott should have gone down for a penalty. I know he'll say put the cross in for Crouch, and I think hit Crouch on the knee. If he goes down, it's a penalty.
Yes, it was a bad tackle, foul tackle. Anyway, 12 and a half minutes to go. I still don't know how Crouch didn't convert the cross in from Walcott. Beckham with the from the left-hand side. The drums beat at Wembley. Beckham plays it in right-footed deep. Crouch heads it behind for a goal kick. And here's another change for Andorra. Fernandez will come on, and I don't care what or where he's supposed to play, he'll defend. Doesn't matter.
You can actually give that line, have you heard the drums, Fernandez?
And we've only got another 12 minutes of Mark Lawrence in season as well.
Thank goodness.
England 5, Andorra 0. You know, there's much of the little bits that are written about me in the press have absolutely no basis in fact whatsoever. But there was one in a BBC in-house magazine recently, an editor who claimed that he saw me on a Yugoslav beach. Never in my life.
It was a whale.
Never in my life have I been on a beach in Yugoslavia. Charles Runcie, if you're listening. Sorry that's in, but I couldn't let it go without rebuke for the relevant magazine. Here's Vieira. Vieira running away towards the far side. Finds a colleague in red. Now it's played back to Andorra. To Ayala on the halfway line. And, they've actually got half a dozen players lurking around the England penalty area. Then they give the ball away. It comes out off Walcott, and it's a throw into Andorra. We've got 11 minutes left for play.
Just watching the Andorra manager, David Rodrigo, on the touchline. What on earth can he be thinking or trying to do?
Well, I tell you what, he doesn't have to do very much because he's been in the job 10 years. I'm not saying he doesn't try. Of course he works hard. But it's not as if he's got a successful record. Oh, great run forward by Defoe. He's on a hat-trick, remember. Into the penalty area. Shoots. It was wasteful. Still might be knocked in. Crouch actually scores. After a calamitous defensive attempt by Andorra. It's England 6, Andorra 0.
Yeah, well, I think Defoe made an absolute pig's ear of it. And what he did, he screwed the shot wide, and it seemed to put the defender off. I think it was Sunagi as well, who then wasn't quite sure whether to stick or twist. And Crouch has had an almighty hee-haw at it and completely, almost missed it, and it just trickled past the goalkeeper.
Honestly, you've got to watch that goal on television. But anyway, Peter Crouch finally scores. And it's England 6, Andorra 0. Have all these goals waking you up, Graham, or have you nodded off?
Just woke me up, Alan. Just woke me up.
Sorry.
Peter Crouch there. That could have been his 5th goal, really, and he's got it in a most remarkable way. But there you are. They keep on coming. Will they get to this double figures? Will they do it? I think that's the challenge they ought to set themselves.
4 goals in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think
Andorra,
that's possible against this side.
It's possible. It's possible. Here's Beckham to Lampard and onto Bridge in the far side of the field. I just sense that England are looking for further goals now. Ashley Young onto his right foot. Poor cross in from the Villa player. It's beaten away, then it's given away to Ashley Young again. Another poor cross from Ashley Young. This one's behind for a goal kick.
I actually didn't think the second cross was that bad. It was just low, and it was there to be attacked as much as anything.
Just seeing a shot of Sir Geoff Hurst in the crowd. He's seen Wayne Rooney go past him in terms of England goal scorers. And eventually, if Sir Geoff Hurst got a knighthood, you might find Sir Wayne at some stage in the future. Could be record caps, record goals. He'd deserve it. It's a long way off, though. Ashley Young on the far side. England left. England lead by how many goals is it now? 6-0. Almost lost count of the number of goals. Easy. I'm just wondering if Mike... I don't think I've ever seen England win by a mammoth amount. I don't think Mike has either. I mean, I've watched games on television.
7 or 8-0 once.
I didn't do that game. Did Mike do it? Nod, Mike, if you did it. Did you do it?
Turkey, Mike? No, 7 or 8-0?
Yes, he did. Yeah. Right, I didn't do that.
Hold on, he's just writing the scorers down.
Now, lay off him. Come on. We're going on our summer break. We're all going on a summer holiday.
Together.
Beckham spots a goalkeeper off his line and definitely struck it towards goal. Didn't quite get the trajectory right. And anyway, Coldo, breathing heavily, regained his position and caught the shot. 8 minutes to go. England 6, Andorra 0. Here's Lescott. Lescott, who could have scored 2 goals himself. On to Beckham. Beckham over the halfway line in the centre circle. Just chips the pass to the left side to Wayne Bridge. Bridge with Ashley Young ahead of him. Play to Young. Young looking at Ayala. Already runs towards the left edge of the penalty area, then the pass infield to Lampard. Lampard, good ball forward to Crouch. Crouch wide to Bridge. Typically Defoe, probably the smallest person on the pitch, is the only person inside the penalty area. Now Crouch joins him. Ashley Young attempts to get the cross in, very deep. Walcott is there. It seemed to be Walcott pulling on the defender, not spotted by the linesman or the referee. Johnson crosses in towards the far post, headed up and away by Andorra, and finally out of play off the head of Ayala for a throw into England. 7 minutes to go. England have now scored 26 goals in this campaign. 7 games, 7 wins. Ain't half bad. Here's Beckham. Beckham to the right side. And Johnson now turns it onto his left foot. Quite a provider tonight, Glenn Johnson. The pass, I think, inadvertently back to Beckham. The crowd shouts shoot. He declines. Instead, the pass is to Bridge. Bridge runs infield. Back to Beckham. Shoot. Ignored again.
Sure, it's shoot.
Well, it's something like that. Lescott with a cross. Deep, looking for Crouch. Crouch was ready to volley it. Came off the head of a defender. Shema, and behind for an England corner.
He's probably never taken so many corners and free kicks in his life, David Beckham.
No. If they're not shouting shoot, what are they shouting? No suggestions of that, Mark. 0500 909 693 is the number to call if you wish to participate in 606, which is coming up shortly. Beckham's corner played in, and again it wasn't great. Terry tried to reach it, didn't reach it, and Ildefonso Lima, that magnificent defender, comes forward, falls over. At least he's not trying to start a fight now, it's just a free kick. Even he accepts the inevitable. Oh, a boo from the crowd there. And I think we're going to have another change for Andorra. I wonder, will it be Moreira or Rodriguez perhaps.
This could change the game.
Or you could bring on another goalkeeper. Free kick taken. Vieira onto Jimenez. Jimenez into Vieira again. Back now to Valles. And it's now on the far side of the field with Ayala. Andorra actually have more than a few players inside the England half now. Vieira did shoot. It was half-hearted effort, came back off a defender. Now it's crossed by Ayala, deep looking for Jimenez, and Johnson just allowed the ball to run over his head, now to play harmlessly for a throw into England.
I think they've had one shot, haven't they, Andorra? Remember the first half left foot? Was it Moreno or Jimenez? I'm not quite sure.
Wow. Beckham drives the ball to the left side. Ashley Young chases after it, controls it, left edge of the penalty area. Crouch goes to the near post, is ignored. Ashley Young plays it, overhits the ball, and it's behind harmlessly for a goal kick.
Yeah.
He hasn't made the best use of his time in the pitch, has he, Ashley Young?
No, but you can see he's got the ability, Alan, and the great thing about him, he can go either side of the fullback as well. Oh, it is this substitute goalkeeper.
Well, of course, it's at the end of Coldo's career.
Oh, he's getting the applause.
So he's going to get the standing ovation coming up, just the way Tony Lima got it by the clan. In fact, are there any Andorran fans here? I mean, there must be a few. They're just not much in evidence. 4 minutes to go. England 6, Andorra 0. Beckham to Walcott. Walcott, 15 yards over the halfway line. Moving infield, then played it rather carelessly behind Defoe, and it's taken forward by Andorra. Well, Vieira tried a couple of step-overs there. Oh, and then he had a hack at Lescott, who was on the floor. Play continues. Beckham has the ball. Another good crossfield ball. Hit 50 yards to Ashley Young. Taken on the chest by the Villa player. Back now to Wayne Bridge. Bridge to Young. And now it's on from Terry to Beckham. Back to Terry. Glenn Johnson already half created 3 goals with crosses from the right. In towards Lampard. Lampard miscontrolled it, but it's back to John Terry. Terry hits it to the left side to Bridge. Bridge brings it down, a few yards outside the penalty area. Back now to Young. Countless passes exchanged here between England players. 3 minutes to go here on 5 Live. Now it's Beckham down the right side. And Beckham just rolls the ball with the underside of his right foot. Plays the pass back to Johnson. Terry onto Lescott. Why does the referee just blow for full time? Terry chips it in toward Defoe. Too high for Defoe, and through to Calder.
Yeah, we're just killing the game really here, aren't we?
Now, Calder just hit the ball out of play and then you can be substituted. Well, he hits it over the halfway line, that's for sure. young
He doesn't want to go off, does he?
Maybe he doesn't know that the coach is inviting a standing ovation.
I think the clue of the goalkeeper as the substitute standing on the line
You
might
think
be a clue.
So? Defoe finds Ashley Young down the left side. Young moving infield before he crosses low, right-footed and headed behind for a corner. Is this where you make the change before a corner?
Yeah, he's going to do it. It doesn't
Why
matter.
not?
6-0 down, does it?
Come on.
Here we go.
Yeah, Gomez coming on for Caldo, and he's obviously held in very high regard by his international colleagues because he's embraced by quite a few of them. I think he wants to embrace all of them before he makes his way off the pitch. An unusual substitution this, and well,
no, you can understand.
Absolutely, absolutely. Some career. I think he's giving the captain's armband to Soneji. He shakes John Terry's hand as well. It'll be one of the longer substitutions we've seen, but it's the end of his international career, and well done he and Tony Lima, and well done the England fans because they're applauding the goalkeeper. They must be aware of this.
Standing ovation, Alan, here in front of us.
That's very good. So Colo's off, and he's embraced by Tony Gomez, who replaces him, and now a hug from the manager David Rodrigo as well. He's off, and Gomez is on, and I fear for Gomez. I hope he doesn't concede a goal here late. England corner, taken short by Beckham to Young, back to Beckham, and Beckham's cross in, not a good one again, and Andorra should be able to make the clearance here. Caught in possession though, in the middle of their own half. Lescott, back to the halfway line in Bridge, on to Beckham. We're inside the final minute of the game. Beckham just chipped the ball into the penalty area, too high for Defoe, and an elaborate catch and dive forward by the substitute goalkeeper Gomez.
He looks very young as well, Gomez.
I don't know. I'm afraid I've got to admit to a relative lack of research, particularly on the Andorran substitutes. I thought I'd just give it a miss. Walcott running forward and running inside the full-back, beat another player, but not a final challenge. Ball broke back to Beckham. Beckham slipped, still played a good pass to the left side to Ashley Young. Ashley Young crosses in. Defoe with a header over the crossbar when a hat-trick beckoned.
Just needed a little deft touch, really. He got a little bit too much on it, didn't he? That's it.
He's blown the whistle. Forget about the substitutions. We're not going to add on any unnecessary time. That's your lot.
Well, good way to finish 6-0 against very, very poor opposition. Played 7, won 7, excellent record for Capello. Put this result obviously to bed for the rest of the summer and roll on the start of next season if you're an England supporter.
Well, in a couple of minutes' time, I'll be presenting 606. A reminder of the number to call, 0500 909 693. Do give me a chance to get to the fresh position. So, Mark, it's all yours. Final score at Wembley, England 6, Andorra 0.